What's happening?
The presses are rolling.
Well, then what's wrong?
I stopped by the international desk. They just picked up the full story of Rinaldi's so-called death.
Sorry we couldn't let you in on that sooner.
Let me in on it? You ordered me not to investigate it even though you knew it was true. I'm your acting editor, Clint. Doesn't that count for some kind of trust?
It wasn't our secret to share, Richard.
Richard, look, we were sworn to secrecy. We had to do it for David and Jenny's protection.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. It's just too bad neither one of them deserves you.
Why do you say that?
Take a look. It's a wire copy of Rinaldi's interview in the International Tribune. I wouldn't read it before you ate your breakfast.
Mr. Rinaldi insisted he'd known no genuine freedom in the United States. It's really very simple. He said, I found a better way of life. That's ridiculous. He would never say anything like that.
Well, it was printed by a top American journalist, Vicky, and that's just the beginning.
Mr. Rinaldi also announced a major concert, his Farewell to the West, to be held in Vienna later this month. It is expected to be a major media event with much of the world press in attendance.
Yeah, we can expect a lot more than his music, too. He's delivering a speech, probably some rousing propaganda against the United States before he and Jenny take off behind the Iron Curtain.
Richard, I don't believe this.
Why not? The guy's got a whole history of anti-American activities.
No, he recanted all that. Besides that, even if he hadn't, Jenny would never go back there with him.
Well, you better take a look at this. It was taken during the interview. Came in over satellite.
I don't understand this. I mean, this couldn't have been taken long after she talked to us yesterday.
It's not exactly the world's best picture of Jenny, is it?
No. It's the hat. She never wears a hat. She never wears a hat. Can I use your magnifying glass?
Yeah, sure. Clint, when you get to Vienna, make sure to call me if you come up with some answers.
If I can. Meanwhile, I want you to act as our liaison here in Landview. Keep us up to date on any developments, clues, whatever.
Clint, this isn't Jenny. Look at this.
You know, sweetheart, I think you might have something.
I'm sure I'm right. They got somebody to pose as Jenny. That explains the hat and the shadow across the face.
Well, what the hell is Jenny?
Obviously, she's in a lot more trouble than we ever knew.
Let's get moving.
But, darling, our flight isn't until later today.
We'll try and get an earlier one. Come on.
All right. Richard, we'll call you from Vienna. Bye.
Okay. Good luck.
Hey.
Yeah, Ellen. Hey, get me Cassie Callison on the phone right away.
Oh, thank you, Emma. That's lovely. I'll go.
Will there be anything else, ma'am?
No, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Sweetheart, would you like cream or lemon in
Sitting
it?
here drinking tea is not going to solve anything, Mom.
Neither will rushing off to Vienna, but if you like, I will call the newsroom and see if there are any new developments. Don't panic. It's probably nothing, all right? The daughter-in-law here. Yes, she is. Oh, yes. I'll call her. Just one moment. It's Richard Abbott's secretary. She can put Richard on for you.
Hello?
Cassie, I'm sorry for tracking you down, but I need to talk to you right away.
Yeah, is it about my father?
Do you know about his statement?
Yes. Is there anything new?
No, and I don't want to panic you. I just need to talk. Now, can you come down to the Banner right away?
Yeah, okay. I'll be there as soon as I can.
What's it all about?
I don't know, but I know it has something to do with my father. I mean,
Honey, wouldn't you like to spend the night here?
no thanks, Mom. I think that I'd rather be on my own.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Mom, don't worry. I'm not going to do anything foolish, okay?
I know how much you love your father, but there's nothing that any of us can do.
Yes, I'm beginning to realize that.
And Vicky and Clint are in the perfect position. I mean, they've got a great cover. They are American journalists covering a story about an American composer defecting, and you would only arouse suspicion and bring danger not just on yourself, but on Jenny and David.
I love you, too. Don't worry, I'll do the right thing.
Oh. Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, darling.
Excuse me, ma'am. You have another visitor.
Oh, please, Emma, I don't feel like visitors right now.
It's Mr. John Russell.
Is he resting?
He never rests. He's just pacing his room back and forth. Back and forth.
Have to come up with a solution, Dieter. He's already demanding proof that Jenny's still alive and well.
There's nothing we can do until she's found. We just have to continue to rely on threats.
But he's already beginning to know they're empty. If we lose his cooperation, we lose everything.
Every available agent is looking for her.
Then bring in more. We must do everything possible and soon, or we won't be able to control him.
Whole story all along, didn't you? David and Jenny, Brad Vernon.
There was no way that I could tell you, Richard.
Now, I understand. But I want you to know we're going to be hitting the afternoon editions with everything we've got.
All the other papers are doing the same thing.
Yeah, but we got a lot more depth here at the Banner. And we're not just going to be talking about David's interview. We're going to talk about the staged marriage. We're going to talk about David's supposed death, the hideout in Austria.
Why are you telling me all of this?
Cassie, Landview's your home. Now, it could be rough on you for a while.
I've handled publicity before.
I don't think you understand the size of this story. We're talking page one, headlines that could last for weeks. And this story could grow, especially if Clint and Vicky are right about David being forced into it.
What about you? Do you think that he was forced into it?
I don't know enough yet. But my job is to report the news, and I don't want anything embarrassing coming out that would hurt you. That's why I thought you might want to get away until this all blows over.
The only thing that I need to do is go to Vienna.
Now, you know that would be a mistake, Cassie.
All I know is that my father's in trouble and he needs me.
Look, Cassie, Brad Vernon's pulling for him, and Clint and Vicky will be there. I don't think he's got anybody else that could be better on his team. Excuse me. Yes, Ellen. Tell her I can't talk to her right now.
Dita tells me that Rinaldi's been giving you trouble.
To put it mildly.
However, that is unacceptable, Greta.
Well, I'm very sorry, Dirk, but that's what's happening.
We are professionals, aren't we?
Am I being chastised?
Your assignment is to control David Rinaldi.
And that's precisely what I'm doing.
Define control.
I beg your pardon.
Well, is control allowing your prisoner to defy you?
My prisoner, as you put it, is an extremely angry and difficult man.
Not surprising under the circumstances.
Nice of you to concede that, Dirk.
Sarcasm, Greta.
I'm sorry, Dirk, but you make me feel so defensive.
Defense is not what's called for.
It's a natural response when one is being attacked.
Self-criticism is called for.
What self-criticism? Man is crazed with love, demanding proof that his wife is still alive.
Then it's your job to see that he gets that proof.
How? We don't know if Jenny's alive or dead.
Oh, yes, she's alive and a danger to our cause.
With all due respect, Dirk, I don't know what you want from me.
I find you disappointing, Greta.
Then why don't you dispense with the sarcasm and make my orders a little clearer?
Your orders are to bring to the recycle hall at the appointed hour a willing and cooperative defector.
David will never be a willing defector.
Then he can be forced to be a cooperative one.
Brute strength is not my forte.
If I'd considered brute strength to be the solution, someone else besides you would have been assigned to Rinaldi.
Are you suggesting that I seduced the maestro?
I'm suggesting that you do whatever is necessary to attain your goals.
Mental anguish is seldom the climate for seduction, if I may say so.
You may say anything you like, my dear Greta, so long as we understand each other.
I understand you perfectly.
Fine. Then we shall have no more trouble from him.
Hopefully none I can't handle.
Good. Have a nice day.
You missed the early flight?
No, we're on our way to the airport now. Vicky's waiting in the car. A couple of things I wanted to go over before we left.
Yeah, you ran out so fast I didn't get the name of your hotel.
Oh, it's a Soccer Hotel. I'll give you the address and phone numbers.
You sure it's going to be safe for Vicky?
Well, I'll do my best to make it that way. There was no talking into staying behind.
And what about Brad? How are you going to contact him?
Well, we won't know that till we get over there. But we're going to have to be very careful. We can't do that openly.
I've got a friend who lives in Vienna. He's a journalist who works undercover. We can pass messages through him. I'll give you his name and his number.
Can we trust this fellow?
Well, we've had a couple of scrapes together. I trust him with my life.
Well, let's hope that won't be necessary.
Now, your cover is going to be an American journalist who's covering the Rinaldi defection.
Yes, and don't forget that when we're talking on the telephone, chances are it's going to be bugged. All right? Well, hold on to Fort, and try not to let Tina get to you.
Oh, I've got a caller. I think I upset her.
She'll get over it. She'll get over it. Wish us luck.
You bet. You come back alive, okay? Oh, and I hope it all works out for you, Clint.
So do I, Richard. So do I.
Blue-blooded.
Welcome to Vienna, sir. Hope you will enjoy your stay.
I'm planning to. Say, isn't the Spanish riding school around here somewhere?
It's just over there, sir. Behind the Albertina Museum. You are familiar with our the Pizzana horses, I see.
Well, I'm a horseman myself.
The Pizzana horses are the most beautiful horses of the world.
I hear they dance better than I do, too.
Very much. Another dead end.
Now, don't give me that, Abbott. Clint and Vicky are in the air right now. When they land in Vienna, I want them to get right to Rinaldi and get the hell out of there.
Asa, I've tried every contact I've got. So have you. Legally, diplomatically, there's no way to get to speak to David.
There must be. Wait a minute, what about that journalist you mentioned?
He tried, but the people in charge of David's affairs claim diplomatic immunity. They say that David wants to remain in seclusion.
He wants his freedom. Look at this. This is the interview that David supposedly gave denouncing the West. Everything he says in this is lies. It never happened.
What are you getting at, Cassie?
He talks about how he wants me to remember the summer we spent at Lake Landview together.
So?
David and I never went to Lake Landview together. And everything else is lies, and they must be holding a gun to his head.
I'm impressed, Dirk. As usual, you've thought of everything.
Modesty makes me admit that I did not anticipate Jenny's escape. However, we have experts who provide temporary solutions at short notice.
Shall we share this letter with David?
Oh, he wanted it so badly. The very least he deserves, don't you think?
Give it back. Give it back.
Is there a problem, David?
Mr. Warmth here is the problem. Trying to compose a minor melody, and he grabs it right out of my hand.
My orders were clear. If you refuse to cooperate with us, you get no favors.
Quite right, Dieter. I'm sure the lack of cooperation will cease the moment he knows what's in here.
David sent you a message. He just might have been misquoted.
Obviously, the reference to Lake is because this whole thing is lies.
You may be right.
Asa, how can you say they want to defect?
He didn't say that.
No, I did not. But I'll tell you something, Cassie, I thought about it. And it'd be a hell of a thing if Vicky and Clint fly all the way to Vienna for nothing.
They didn't go for nothing. Jenny called Vicky asking her to come and help her.
Look, I love Jenny as much as anybody. Vicky felt that she owed her, and that's why she went. But if they're in some kind of danger, I mean, all they've been through...
It was their idea, Asa. Nobody forced them.
What about Jenny, huh? What if she was forced to make that phone call?
By who, David?
He turned his back on his country once before. He might just have said to Jenny, look, you have a choice. Either defect with me, you never see me again.
He would never do that.
Come on, honey. He's your father. You love him. But I have my doubts, and lots of them.
Richard, will you tell him, please?
No, I've got to tell Richard something. I'm going to try and get a hold of Brad at the Soccer Hotel. Disguise a message, tip him off that Vicky and Clint are coming. And I'm sorry, honey, but I'm not going to rest till they're home where they belong and this whole damn mess is over.
Asa, wait a second,
Hold on. Don't waste your breath, Cassie. Look, Vicky's carrying his grandchild. You can't blame him for being worried.
Well, I'm worried, too. And nobody has the right to say those things about my father.
David earned his reputation.
Oh, I've heard it all before. That's right. He's been called a spy and a traitor, everything short of a killer. But I'll tell you something, Richard. My father happens to be a good man.
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. After all, he did produce you. That's one strong vote in his favor.
So then you're willing to help me?
Any information I get, I'll give to you. And don't worry, Cassie. Once Brad gets to Vienna, my contact there will help him any way he can.
God, I hope so. I just hope it's enough.
Can it happen, mein Herr?
Yeah, does anybody around here speak English?
I do, a little. You wish coffee?
Yeah, for starters. You know what I really like is from somebody to tell me what this means.
Hey, I'm sorry, I do not understand.
Yeah, the name is Van Dyke, Bud Van Dyke. I came all the way from the States to get away from bad news. What do I find? This lousy trader's still alive. Is that a kick in the pants or what?
Kick in the pants?
Yeah, it's an old expression where I come from. It means, kick in the pants.
Oh, no, mein Herr, Vienna is a very friendly place.
No, don't take me literally, friend. I'm just trying to find somebody to translate this German gobbledygook into something I can understand. You understand?
You want cream and sugar?
No, amigo, what I want...
It's all right, Fritz. I think I can help this gentleman.
Danke schön.
Bitte schön.
Well, thank you. I was beginning to think I talked funny or something. Have a seat. My name's Bud.
My name is Hans Friedrich. Pleased to meet you. How can I help you, Mr. Burnham?
To the language, too, my friend. The name is Van Dyke.
Please, Brad. I know who you are and what you're doing in Vienna.
You have me confused with somebody else.
Richard Abbott sends his warmest regards.
He does?
Yes, he does. I'm a journalist here in Vienna. Richard and I have had dealings before. He told me where I might find you.
How would he know? How could he even... Cassie.
Huh. I beg your pardon?
Nothing. So Richard wanted you to find me? Well, does he have a message from home?
Well, the message was for me to help you find a way to reach the gentleman whose picture is on the front page.
Can you?
I'm afraid it's impossible. Access to Master Rinaldi is absolutely closed. No one, and I mean no one, even knows where he and his wife are staying.
Well, I appreciate your efforts.
I only wish I could do more. What are your plans?
Well, for now, I'll keep playing the part of Bud Van Dyke. I'm afraid the name Brad Vernon might attract too much attention, don't you?
I agree, yes. And by using your false name, you'll be able to stay in contact with Mr. and Mrs. Buchanan.
Who?
Clint and Victoria. You didn't know they were coming?
Wow, your hotline to Landview is a lot better than mine. No, but wait a minute. Why would Clint and Vicky want to get mixed up in this?
I think they're coming as part of the International Press Corps.
To cover the press conference, that way they might be able to see David, right?
Which is most unlikely.
Well, I guess I have no choice. I'll have to wait here for him. Thank you, Hans.
Before I go, can you give me any idea about your next step?
Well, that's easy. I hear you have a pretty lively underworld here in Vienna.
Lively? Well, we call it a world of killers and thieves.
Yeah, better to tell me what's going on.
Perhaps you're right. And how do you hope to explore this world when you don't even speak German?
Well, killers and thieves have sort of an international language, Hans. I hate to admit it, but in my past, I spoke it rather fluently. Be interesting to see if I remember any of my old tricks.
And though I want to call you to hear your voice, I understand that's impossible. While I'm on one side of the border and you're on the other, we'll have to correspond this way. Know, my darling, that I'm being well treated, that I'm adjusting to our new life, and that I'm missing you desperately. It's your love and the thought that you'll join me soon that keeps me going. All my love, Jenny.
Well, are your worries now over?
This doesn't prove anything.
Oh, really, David? Surely you don't think it's forged? That's Jenny's own handwriting.
Seems to be. You're fully capable of forcing her to write this letter just as you forced me to make that treasonous speech.
Well, for the sake of argument, let us assume that you're right. that in fact we have forced Jenny to write that letter. But it does prove that she's alive. She's alive, and that letter was written by a living hand. Her hand.
All right, she's alive.
Then will you go along with the plan?
As long as she's being well cared for?
Oh, an honored guest of the nation. Absolutely.
You'll be when you join her.
Now, meanwhile, would you like to start rehearsing for your concert?
And what do I use for a piano?
A piano is available for you in the conservatory. And Greta and I will now leave you to collect your thoughts.
Do you think he knew that the letter was forged?
Well, even if he has his doubts, he believes it is from Jenny. He believes with all his heart.
Cassie.
Craig, hi.
Hi. I want you to know how sorry I am.
About what?
Oh, about not understanding before. David Rinaldi is your father, isn't he?
Yeah, what of it?
Well, now I realize why all my questions about Brad and Jenny Vernon were so troublesome to you. You had a great burden to carry, concealing their identity. I hope they appreciate what you've done for them.
I haven't done anything.
All right. We'll pretend you didn't, but if there's anything I can do to lighten that burden, please tell me.
Let's change the subject, all right?
Oh, of course, of course. Would you join me for a minute?
Sure, I've got a couple of minutes, I guess.
I wanted to thank you for taking me to Ace's party.
Oh, you don't have to thank me for that.
Well, yes, I do. Clint and Vicky, I really should call them and thank them for their hospitality.
Well, you won't be able to because they're...
Yes?
Well, they're both off on a trip somewhere, and, well, nobody's supposed to know about it.
No, sounds most intriguing. Well, it can't be a second honeymoon, can it, since they just took one?
No, it's not a honeymoon, actually. It's a business trip.
But I thought they'd turned their reins over from their newspaper over to their friends.
Yes, they have, actually. It's private business. Well, you see, Clint's family has a ranch out west, and they needed to take care of some things, but I really don't know the details, of course.
Of course. Well, it's probably better they're not in town now anyway, with all this distressing news on the front page.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should try to get your mind off your father's troubles. Say, tonight, at Elmo's.
I don't know if I'm in the mood to dance.
Cassie, if it's true what you say, that your father's made this choice for himself, then you need to live your life for yourself. And what better way to start than by spending a night on the town with me?
I suppose you might be right. Actually, maybe it would be good for me to take my mind off some things for a night.
Sure.
Okay. I'll go.
Good. Well, I'll pick you up at your apartment.
Oh, no. Why don't I just meet you back here? I live so close by. I'll just go home and change.
I'll be waiting for you.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Would you connect me with the overseas operator? Vienna, Austria.
Still no answer, Pam.
I told you, Richard. Tina was definitely leaving town.
Well, she could have changed her mind and come back.
I doubt it. She was pretty strung out.
It's my own fault. I was too hard on her.
No, wait 1 second. Don't you dare go blaming yourself. It was just one more rejection piled on a lot of other ones. I just think it was all at once just too much for her. That's all.
But you do think that she's going to come back?
I'm afraid so. It's just that... Oh, I don't know. When she left, she was so bitter. And all she could think about was getting revenge on the Buchanan. What worries me is that when she does come back, she'll have figured out some way to do it.
Like what? I didn't think there was any battlefields left.
I have no idea. Maybe I just forget about it. I'm just probably making too much about it. She was angry, and it was probably just a lot of talk. I'm afraid that we're not going to see her again.
Who's leaving?
Oh, hi, Harlan. We're just talking about Tina.
Wait a minute. We can't be that lucky.
It's true. She did leave town.
Really? Well, I know better. Little tramp's going to sneak back in here and try to ruin us again. Richard, anything new on Vienna?
Nothing. The lid closed on David as quickly as it opened. And Jenny hasn't gone to the authorities for help. Or if she has, it hasn't been made public.
Well, I hope the hell she has. If not, Clint and Vicky are going to have a lot of trouble trying to find her. Excuse me, I'm going to use my private line. I want to call the hotel to see if they arrive safely.
Asa, watch what you say. The phones are probably tapped.
Richard, I wasn't at born yesterday.
You know, you can rile Asa even when you don't talk about Tina.
Seems to be a special talent I have. Why is the world so full of complicated people, Pam? People like David Rinaldi, Tina, Asa. I mean, is a normal life just too dull for them? Take Tina, for instance. A normal life seems to make her panic.
I don't know. So many people despise Tina. And all she really ever wanted was just to have someone love her.
Exactly. And you're the only one besides me who understands that.
So what happened, Richard? You couldn't love her either?
I care for her and find her extremely attractive. I mean, we were getting along just fine, and then suddenly she demanded a relationship instead of just letting one happen.
Do you want her to come back?
Yes, I do. Yeah, but don't let the relatives in on that.
Believe me, I won't tell a soul. You know, Richard, you may actually be a very good person for Tina. You help her grow up a little bit. You know, she needs a lot of pampering and an awful lot of patience.
Like somebody else that we know?
Well, that just goes to show you that it can work. You know, if it weren't for Tina, I never would have left Malakeva and come here. For that, I will be always eternally grateful, even if her motives weren't exactly what you call sterling.
Well, I just got off the phone with Clint. He and Vicky arrived safe. They're going sightseeing. And I don't know if they heard from Jenny, Richard, because they were smart enough not to ask.
Well, I sure hope Jenny was one of the sights that they see. Well, I've got to go interview Dorian. You don't happen to have a chair and whip I could borrow, do you?
Well, you're going to need one if you're going to talk about David Rinaldi.
No, this is another unpleasant topic in her past. And needless to say, if you hear from Vicky and Clint, I'd like to know. And Pam, if you know who calls, tell her that I'd like to speak to her.
You bet I will, Richard. Good luck with Dorian.
I'll see you later.
So long. Is that kid hung up on you-know-who?
It's time, David.
Go away.
You heard Dirk's instructions. You must rehearse. We don't want to disappoint your audience when the time comes, do we?
No. Of course we don't.
You would like more coffee, perhaps?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Sehr gut.
Madame, you should not have come back here.
I know you said I should be sightseeing.
Please.
What are you doing? What do you want?
Believe me, I mean you no harm.
Please, all I want is a cup of coffee and a table near the window.
No, madame. I do not think that is all you want.
Who are you?
Just a simple waiter who knows nothing of your trouble except that you have them. Two in particular.
What are you saying?
Two gentlemen came in here looking for you. Only they were not gentlemen. They had bulges under their jackets and they were not smiling.
Well, they weren't looking for me. That must be some mistake.
They had a photo, madam, and they wanted me to help them in the worst way.
What did you tell them?
I told them, do you think I could forget a beautiful face like this? I am Viennese, after all. No, gentlemen, I have never seen this ravishing creature before.
Thank you. I don't even know your name.
Fritz, madam. And believe me, I never enjoyed telling a lie so much.
You
You think they believed you?
Who can say, but on the chance they might come back.
Yeah, I should get out of here.
I am sorry, madam. I know you are waiting to meet someone.
I never said that.
Good. Have it your way. The question is now, where will you find such a good view of this Saga Hotel?
Well, I'll have to look around. It is a fascinating building, isn't it?
The people who come and go through its doors are far more fascinating, madam. I wish you, if you look, good luck. I hope you find whatever it is you are searching for.
Thank you.
Waiter, could I have the check, please?
Man to reach, Dirk. The lines are only open when I feel certain we are not being bugged. No one is to know where we are, keeping our house guest.
I know of two people who intend to find out. Clint and Vicky Buchanan. They're on their way to Vienna.
What? Are you sure of this?
Positive. They're traveling as part of an international press corps, but I believe they're planning to meet with Jenny.
Good work. Good work, Pa. I will have the Buchanans followed from the moment that they land in their plane, and they will lead us right to Jenny.
Yes, and... Yes, good speaking to you, too. Yes. Goodbye.
Told you it wouldn't take long.
You were worth the wait.
I hope I didn't interrupt your call.
Oh, no. Just a minor business transaction.
Oh, don't tell me. More antiques.
Yes, one elusive, exquisite creation. Everyone thought it was lost till now.
You found it?
Precisely. So, the prize is in sight. Shall we?
Dorian, could I ask you a personal favor? Would you call Vicky and Clint's hotel room in Vienna? See if they've made any contact with Brad?
First of all, we don't know that they've checked into the hotel yet. Secondly, the phone could be tapped.
I know, see, that's why I can't call. But as general manager of WVLE, you could.
Well, what am I supposed to say? How do you like your hotel room, and is Brad Vernon lurking in the lobby?
I don't know. Forget it. I just can't stand not knowing anything. I don't know anything. I mean, he just went off onto a plane in Vienna because he loves Jenny. I'm just scared to death he's going to get himself killed.
Well, if it isn't my loving wife, Jenny.
I just got off the phone from Rupert. Jenny talked his ear off, telling him how much she loves you. And unlike you, she finished her breakfast. Really, David, you must keep your strength up for your farewell concert.
Funny thing about the piano, Greta. Sometimes you sit down and just can't remember a note. I wondered if something like that could happen during my farewell appearance.
Better not. You wouldn't want to disappoint your many friends and fans, such as Clint and Victoria Buchanan.
What about them?
They arrived in Vienna earlier today. In fact, as we speak, they're being followed from the airport into town.
Of course they wouldn't buy that phony press interview for a minute. Not especially not the part about Jenny wanting to defect. They probably knew that wasn't her in the photograph.
Believe me, we won't let them near you. I'm sure they have some sort of plan to save you.
Well, why don't we call them and ask?
They won't succeed, David. And you'd better hope they don't try. It would be a real blow to Landview to lose two of its most prestigious citizens.
Welcome to Vienna. Will you be staying with us long?
Well, that sort of depends, doesn't it, sweetheart?
We're hoping to find an old friend while we're here.
Vienna is a very friendly place.
It's time to go in.
I just thought maybe she would be waiting here.
Well, Jenny didn't know when to expect us, sweetheart. She'll contact us.
You're right. You'll have to wait. I'm just so worried.
Patience. The dogs will lead us to the box.
many more years than you have, and there's one thing you can count on. He's a survivor.
Yes, up until now he has been. But he's pushed it a little too hard this time, Dorian. And I really hate him for this. I hate him.
You don't hate him. You love him. Does Brad know how much?
Yes, he knows. I even offered to go with him. You know, so that an American couple would look less suspicious. If he goes alone, he's going to be spotted immediately. I mean, as soon as he starts asking questions, they're going to nail him.
I've got more confidence in Brad than you do. I know that he's devious enough to get out of any situation.
Yes, but see, if I could just talk to him, if I could hear his voice, I know I would feel so much better if I could just hear his voice.
But would it do any good? No, it wouldn't. Neither would calling Vicky and Clint's hotel room.
I know that if our positions were reversed right now, he would not be this reasonable.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I would be jumping on the next plane to go after him.
That's right. And that's exactly what I want to do. But no one will let me do it.
You know what? If I were thinking in that direction, I would hope that somebody sensible would talk me out of it, because you're only going to make a dangerous situation more volatile. I think I've managed to talk Cassie into that frame of mind, but I'm not sure.
Well, look, if you hear anything from Vicky and Clint, please let me know.
Why don't you take the day off? Try. Go to the movies. Get your mind on something else besides Brad.
It's a great idea. Good. Okay, what should I do? I'll go to my uncle's campaign office, and I'll put in a couple of hours there.
We'll leave it that you're going to the movies, because I don't want to get into a dispute about Herb versus Pete in the campaign.
Don't take all day, honey. Who is it?
A message from the desk. Mr. Buchanan?
That's right.
This message was waiting for you at the desk. The clerk forgot to give it to you when we checked in.
Oh, thank you very much.
We're sorry about the delay.
That's all right. You accept an American dollar?
Thanks.
Dear Clint and Vicky, at 11 a.m. this morning, go to the Belvedere Palace and walk around the lower gardens. Act naturally, like tourists. And don't try to find me. I'll find you.
I'm here, Miss Lloyd.
Great, thanks. Listen, maybe you can help me with something. See, I have to go to this address. Could you tell me how far it is? Like if I can get there by cab or if I have to rent a car?
It's right on the outskirts of town, in the Upper Valley. It's not very far from here.
Great. Then maybe you could also do me the favor of calling me a cab. Pick me up in about 10 minutes.
Sure.
So, Clint, I'm going to pay a little surprise visit on Maria Vasquez. Let's find out why she thinks it's just so urgent that she has to see you. I just hope it's worth my while.
See you again, Richard. Please sit down. Now, I hope that you're not here to interview me about David.
Well, off the record, I wouldn't mind knowing more about him, but that's not why I'm here.
Oh, when you said that you wanted to talk about somebody from my past, I just assumed it was David.
I was thinking about Paul Kendall. Well, I'm sorry. Obviously, you weren't expecting that.
No, I wasn't. I don't know why you would want to talk about him. Unless he was back in town.
No, at least I don't think so. Well, you look horrified at the idea.
Terrified, actually. Why are we discussing him?
Because the David Rinaldi defection story gave me an idea for a series of articles about spies who've lived here in Landview. It'll cover various agents and how they've been affected by people's lives here.
And, of course, you want to keep the hype about Cassie's father going.
No, just the opposite. I thought this might take the spotlight off of David and Jenny for a while.
Yes, well, let's keep the spotlight off of Paul Kendall as well.
Why? I heard that you cared about him, Dorian. That you were possibly the last person to see him before he disappeared.
Yes, I saw him. His face was bandaged. There was blood all over him. I can see it as clearly now as if it was yesterday.
1979, wasn't it?
Yes. I had flown down to San Carlos with Peter Jansen to try and find Paul and help him, but it was too late. Paul was very bitter. He even had the rather horrible notion that I was glad that he was hurt, that I was enjoying seeing him suffer.
And you said that his face was covered with bandages?
What was left of it. It took me years to get the sight of him out of my mind, and now you've brought it back in full force.
I'm sorry, Dorian, but this is important. What did he say? Do you remember exactly?
Every word.
I swear to you. I swear to you. I will stay here. I'll take care of you. I have got to make it up to you.
I don't want your help. When this war is over, people will forget. I will never forget. I will make you pay for this.
I tried to help him. I wanted to comfort him, but he insisted that I go away. And that was the last that I ever saw or heard from him again.
Good morning, Brad.
Good morning.
I have an important clue for you. The maestro and his wife are not staying in the same place any longer. She managed to escape.
What? Where is she?
Listen, I talked to Richard Abbott on the phone last night. Your Jenny managed to call Clint and Victoria Buchanan and told them she was in trouble.
When did she call?
2 nights ago. They arrived in Vienna this morning. They're staying at the Sacher Hotel.
Did they arrange to meet with him?
Apparently, she'll try to contact them. They'll make themselves available by touring the usual sites. So if you want to meet the lady, you better hook up with them.
Yeah, but why would the Buchanans know about Van Dyke? I'm sure they have enemy agents following their every move.
No doubt. But the Buchanans have excellent cover as American journalists who want to interview the Rinaldis.
I'm sure I could help Jenny better than I could. If only she knew I was here.
Is there anything you have in common with the Buchanans? A surface excuse to meet and talk?
None. No, they're into newspapers. I'm a racehorse owner. Wait a minute. Clint's from Texas. He owns horses. Maybe I could use that somehow.
Taxi?
Taxi!
Let's go.
Belvedere Gardens.
No idea that Adam Brewster was selling arms to San Carlos. I thought I was investing in something that Adam said would make a sure profit.
Well, I can understand why Paul Kendall would see it otherwise.
Yes, but I mean, I went down there to find him. I endangered my own life to help him. Doesn't that prove something? It's true. To Paul, that would just seem a sure sign of guilt.
Now, you said that he made you leave. Do you know what happened to him afterwards?
He needed plastic surgery. He probably has a new face by now.
And you're sure that he's alive?
I think I would have heard if he wasn't. I hope he is. I hope he's alive and well, living somewhere happily, and that he's forgotten about me.
Well, obviously, he didn't make good on his threat.
Oh, I used to have nightmares about it. I would see his face, grotesque, his hands bloody, reaching out for my throat. Could we stop talking about this, all right? And do you have to do this article?
I'll mention that you saw him in San Carlos, and I won't give it much space, I promise.
Thank you.
So, how's Cassie doing?
Oh, my poor darling daughter. She loves David so much, she wishes that she were a commando so she could go to Vienna and blast him out of hiding.
Are you as certain as Cassie that he hasn't chosen to defect?
Dear Clint, I'm sure you're surprised to hear from me after all these years. Please contact me in El Paso, Texas, as soon as possible. It is urgent. Maria Vasquez. Oh, please, Maria, be trouble for Clint. Yes? Oh, well, tell the driver I'll be down in just a few minutes, okay? Thanks.
Hi, Dee Dee, Joy. Hi, Cassie. How you doing? What are you doing? Spying for your father's campaign? Go on, Joy. Make a list. Go ahead. I'm only kidding, Cassie. Come on. No, really, I wanted to know if Connie was around. Well, she's not here right now, but she's going to be by a little later because she called. She's running errands and wanted me to save her place. Can I wait for her? Or maybe I should wait outside. You guys might be talking secret tactics. Cassie.
Cassie, is there any more news on Jenny and David?
No, nothing. You think it's true? Of course not. They're being forced to say they want to defect. But just most of the world doesn't know that, that's all. Hey, hi, everybody. Hi, Con. Hi. Connie, hi. Let's talk to you.
Oh, boy. Tina thinks Landfair is a palace. She ought to see this place. That's really two palaces, all built for the same prince. And you aren't hearing a word I'm saying.
Sorry, darling. I was looking for Jenny.
She'll find us. Don't worry.
My name is Tina Lord, and I'm here from Langley, Pennsylvania.
Welcome. My name is Al Roberts, and I'm real curious as to why you're knocking on my door.
Well, I hope I'm not in the wrong place. I was looking for Maria Vasquez.
Why?
Well, it's in regards to a letter that I received a while ago.
To you?
No, actually, it's to my brother-in-law, Clint Buchanan.
Well, that name sounds familiar. So does yours, but I can't quite make the connection between my mother-in-law and those two names. Come on in.
Oh, thanks.
What is this all about?
Well, actually, I really don't even know, Mr. Roberts. I was hoping that maybe I could talk to Mrs. Vasquez, and then...
I'm sorry, but she passed away a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I took a look at this letter?
No, I guess not.
Well, that still doesn't tell me too much.
Yeah, I know.
Could I ask you a couple of questions? Like, why Mr. Buchanan didn't show up here himself? And why this letter took so long to get here when it's clearly written urgent?
Well, Clint has had a lot going on in his life lately. He's really been very busy, and he didn't even see the letter till a couple of days ago. And, well, he just, got lost in some papers or something once it was delivered, and he had to go out of town, so he said, hey, Tina, why don't you take care of this for me? So here I am. And could you tell me, is Mrs. Vasquez, was she functioning?
Yeah, up to the very end, yes. Yeah, she was a very sharp lady. But you say Mr. Clint Buchanan. He had never heard of Maria Vasquez.
No, I'm afraid he has no recollection.
Huh? Wait a minute. You said your name's Tina Lord. Yeah, I remember now. There's some kind of family fight. And he was on trial for murder? She was committed.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago, and that's all over with. Everybody's fine, and we are so close. We really are. I mean, of course we would be, or Clint would never have asked me to come here and take care of this for him. And I only feel bad that, that the poor woman died, thinking that Clint didn't even care enough to respond to her letter.
Paul, you were there! In the living room, son. You won first place.
You got it. I rode old Betsy, the meanest mare in El Paso. I finally did it, Paul.
Oh, you said it, man.
It was incredible. The other guys, they couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Do you know how many times that she's thrown me?
Oh, I don't know, 200 times.
What are you talking?
Hey, Court, I almost forgot. We've got a visitor here. Hi. How you doing?
Okay. Now, you sit over there. Sit over there. Get yourself comfortable. Why don't you take that off? Okay? Oh.
Don't you think Bach would be nicer?
Boy, you are so wound up, Dorian. You know, you're not letting yourself relax.
It isn't easy, Leo.
Would that have something to do with that article in the Banner?
Everything to do with it. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, Landview, cloaks and daggers. I don't know why Richard brought up all those subjects that everybody would rather forget.
Paul Kendall affair?
Oh, please, don't even mention the name.
Listen, I'm sorry. I can understand why you want to blot it out. I will make you pay for this. Did he really say that the last time you saw?
Yes, he did. It was like a curse. Please. Really, Leo, we absolutely cannot talk about this.
All right. We'll think only beautiful thoughts.
Not easy in my frame of mind.
Concentrate, Dorian, huh? Come on, trot. There. You know, the most beautiful thing I can think of, present company excluded, is that daughter of yours.
Oh.
How is she?
Oh, she's just fine. She's going away on a vacation, which is such a relief to me.
You have to let go of the anxieties, Dorian. Look, pretend my voice is a cool breeze on a mountaintop, huh?
Really, Leo, you are straining my imagination.
Cooperate, dear. Don't be snide, huh? So what's happened with you and Mr. Russell?
For reasons I do not understand, my private detective chooses to maintain his privacy no matter what.
Well, then there's only one explanation. You know, you must intimidate that man.
What? Oh, nonsense, Leo, really. I mean, he takes out muggers with one punch. He can bluff his way out of any and all situations. Nothing intimidates him.
Oh, really? Not even a beautiful, competent woman who wouldn't be content to live in his shadow? A woman who doesn't even follow her guru's orders? Now, please. Now. What's so special about Jonathan, anyway?
Leo, he's gorgeous.
Come on. Lie down. Try to relax. both know gorgeous isn't everything, huh? And you're too careful and sensitive a woman to be swayed by a handsome face.
Oh, Leo, he's much more than just handsome. He's intelligent, he's charming, he's sensitive.
So I sit around and mope. You know, if I were you, No, that's not my place. Come on, Dorian, relax your thighs, huh?
Leo, really, if I can take your advice about my thighs, I can take it on anything. Now, give.
You know what you need?
What?
You need a pretext. Something to draw him closer to you. And, you know, since he's a private eye, why don't you hire him?
To do what?
I'm sure you can find a reason.
I can't think of any. I mean, well, now that I know Cassie is safe. Unless...
What?
Well, I don't know. I would just love to find out where Tina Clayton Lord is. But never mind. The last thing in the world I want is for anybody to bring her back.
Over here, please. Listen, have you heard from Brad? Not a word, Cass. Oh, I can't stand this anymore. Listen, does he know that Vicky and Clint went over there or that Jenny escaped? Oh, no, not that I know of. Because they could have cross purposes and then we would be getting nowhere. You want to go over there as much as I do, right? Everyone keeps telling me that my passport would sound an alarm. I just feel like I should be there, you know? Mm-hmm. You know what I do? I carry this around with me, night and day. Are you going to go? If I get the impulse, I just might book a flight and leave, yes. All right, listen, Connie, I'm going to talk to Richard Abbott. He said that you might have some contacts over there. Great. And as soon as I find out anything, I'll let you know. Great, same on this one. All right. I wish one of us felt good about this, Cassie. I know. I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye, Bye, Karen. Connie, what were you and Cassie whispering about? We weren't whispering. You guys didn't look too happy. Just drop it, okay? No, I'm not going to drop it. Cassie's my friend. You hardly even know her. Forget it. Dee Dee, do you have any work for me to do around here? What do you want me to do? Well, A, you could lighten up. B, you could answer the phones if you'd like. B, I can handle. A will be difficult.
You know what? I can kind of get used to this lifestyle.
You Texans, you always think big, even in somebody else's country.
Well, don't tell me that you haven't fallen in love with these gardens.
Oh, Clint, they're really magnificent. And I wish that we could come back sometime. With nothing to do but savor every romantic moment.
It's going to be okay. We'll find her.
Remember that statue we saw back there? Pluto and Proserpina?
Yeah?
He was the god of the underworld, and he kidnapped the beautiful Proserpina, and he made her the queen in his dark kingdom. I keep wondering if that's what's happening to Jenny.
Do you think she's going with David against her will?
Possibly. destined to live in some dark kingdom across the border.
David could be as much a victim as Jenny, sweetheart.
You're right. I cannot imagine him choosing to live in a place where his freedom will be stifled.
Not according to his interviews with the press. He said he was tired of hiding, that he wanted to compose and conduct, and this defection gave him the opportunity to do just that.
I'm surprised he didn't add that the earth was flat and the moon was made of green cheese. Obviously, he was forced to say all those things. And the more I think about it, the more convinced I am that it was not Jenny in those photographs.
We know that, sweetheart. But there's a whole world out there that doesn't know David and Jenny. As far as they're concerned, he's a traitor, and she's so much in love with him, she's going along for the ride.
She loves him, yes. But I don't think it's enough for her to live behind the Iron Curtain.
And where is she? Why hasn't she stepped forward and told the truth?
I'm hoping we'll find that out today. Come on, let's keep looking.
Tell me more about this Proserpina lady.
Proserpina. They struck a bargain. She was allowed to live half the year in her own bright world. I just hope the same kind of happy ending will be possible for Jenny.
I don't know, Pa. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't remember Grandma ever even talking about Clint Buchanan.
I know, it's amazing. Well, with all the publicity that Clint has had, you'd think that if she knew him, she would have said so.
Well, Maria, we'll probably straighten this all out tomorrow.
Excuse me, but didn't you say that she passed on?
No, he means my mom. You know his wife?
Yeah, it's the same name, but she's a lot younger, a lot prettier.
Oh, well, then would it be all right if I just waited here until she got back?
You could just wait around for about 5 years if you wanted to.
Okay, Cord, you can take it easy there.
You know, it's a wonderful name, Cord.
Yeah, well,
I've never heard it before.
it's short for Cordero. After my grandpa. I never knew him. He died in Mexico.
Back in those days, or several years ago, it was still difficult for Mexicans and Texans to fall in love with each other and get married.
Well, I think it's great that you never let that stop you. Besides, you certainly did produce a very handsome son. Well, back to the business at hand. Mr. Roberts, when do you think that your wife might be back?
Well, I think she should be back sometime tomorrow. She went about 50 miles from here to visit some friends, some kind of family illness, and she wanted to help out. But we expect her tomorrow morning.
Oh. Well, I guess that means I'm stuck for the night in El Paso. No offense.
Hey, a lot worse places you could be stuck in. And at least here you've got your own personal guide to all the big attractions in town. So would you like to go first? Hey, how about right here? Would you like to see our pecan orchard?
Well, that would be nice, but, you know, I'm really tired from my trip. I really think I ought to go back to the hotel and
Fine, good idea. Why don't you go take a nap? And then I'll pick you up a little bit later.
Well, then I have to finish some paperwork, so, I don't know, maybe next visit.
Oh. Then that means that there will be another visit.
You never know.
We never do.
Well, Mr. Roberts, thanks for all your help. I do hope your wife can unravel this little mystery.
Well, if she doesn't, it's going to remain a mystery because I can't.
Yeah. And, Cord, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Well, if you change your mind or if you get a little bored later, you just give me a call, you hear?
Yeah, I'll do that. And, congratulations on winning, the rodeo prize.
Sorry you weren't there to see me tame old Betsy.
Me too.
So, where about you staying in El Paso? The El Paso Arms?
Yeah.
Yeah, figures. Well, I'll have Maria call you just as soon as she gets back in the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
It's okay. You know, you could come by here yourself tomorrow and see my mom.
Yeah. Bye.
See you soon. Ow! Pop! She is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen off the picture screen. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give her a call a little later tonight, and I'm going to ask her out to dinner. If I could break old Betsy down today, I could really break that little lady down for a date.
That's right. You're floating on a cloud. All your cares and problems drifting far away.
Oh, Leo, it's starting to work. Is this a form of hypnosis?
It's common sense, my dear. Psychological paint by the numbers.
You are a miracle. Makeup man and therapist all rolled into one.
Just remember, I'm only the Band-Aid. You have to heal the wounds.
Oh, I wish I could call Cassie. But you know, she said she was just driving up the coast, so I really don't know where she is.
Oh, children, they can wreak havoc with your tranquility, peace of mind.
My daughter is the least of my problems.
Oh, now, look, Dorian, you just can't snap out of this. Now, look, I thought you were going to forget about that Paul Kendall business.
I can't help it. I'm telling you, it's like a nightmare that I can't escape, whether I'm awake or asleep.
Well, you're awake now. You're going to have to try to relax all over again.
No, I can't. Leo, really. I mean, I just think of the man, and I get so tense. I keep seeing him in that hospital in San Carlos. Bandaged. His pain was so great, but his rage was even greater.
Was that when he threatened you?
Yes. He promised me that he'd get revenge. He swore that somehow he would come back and find me.
Shades of Brian De Palma. Oh. You must have been terrified.
Oh, I still am. I keep seeing him, you know. And yet I can't focus on his face because of course, I know that his face is not the same.
You mean it could be anyone, anywhere?
Exactly. You know, for a while, I was suspicious of anybody new in Landview. I would look at them and think, is this Paul? Is this the man who wants me dead?
And if you think that way, Dorian, your monster could be anyone, even your handsome private detective.
A terrible thing to say. He's too young.
Look, not to frighten you, Dorian. But that's why a lot of people have plastic surgery, to look younger. Much, remember?
Yes, we don't want any more lines, do we?
Oh, and don't forget what I said about your Mr. Russell.
I know. But I've just got to find some way to try and reach him.
An enlightened woman like you? Of course there is. Look, show him you're not so unapproachable. Give him a reason to approach you.
Approach me?
That's right. That's my girl. You think about it now, huh?
I will.
Until next time, you stay as beautiful as you are.
Oh, thank you, Leo. Thank you. They say that time heals all wounds, but they are wrong. My wounds are as fresh as they were the last time I saw you. That's very good. Remember my warning? I told you that I would return, and I will. Oh, that's perfect.
Hello, Cassie. Well, I hope you have an appetite because I've made lunch reservations for us.
I really don't think I'm going to be very good company. Maybe you should cancel them.
Cassie, you're a very sensitive young lady. Obviously, all this publicity your father's getting is beginning to wear on you.
How would you feel if it was your father?
Angry as hell.
That's right. And I have no way of venting that anger, so I just keep getting more and more depressed.
Well, let it out with me. That's what friends are for, aren't they?
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Begin with your father. From what I've read, he was a double agent for a while. Is that true?
Craig, I know very little about that. All I know is that my father regrets that part of his life very much. I mean, I can't imagine that he would choose to defect to East Berlin, you know?
I just hope you're not being naive, Cassie. And have you thought about how awful it must be for your father and his wife to be in hiding all the time, pretending to be other people?
Jenny would never go along with it. As much as she loves my father, I mean, I just know this can't be true.
I'm simply concerned that you're denying the truth because it's so unpleasant, which would just set you up for more pain.
You know what I really want to do? Go to Austria and demand to see my father. I know they would never let me see him. They know that he would tell me the truth.
But if your assessment is correct, you could be in a lot of trouble for doing that.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Everyone thinks that they would grab me and use me as extra leverage against him.
Of course they would. If he's being forced to defect, he could be causing them a lot of trouble.
Well, I know he could. And especially if I was in danger, it would cause them more trouble. I just hate computers.
Where did that come from?
Well, if the authorities wouldn't use computers, then they would have no way of detecting my passport, and they couldn't stop me from getting over the border, you know? I mean, this way they would have...
Night and day.
Are you going to go?
I just might get the impulse and book a flight and leave, yes.
This way what?
I don't know. I just keep running up against the same wall inside my mind.
Well, at any rate, you'll be staying put here in Landview, right?
Yeah. Thursday.
Last time I checked.
You know, I had a lunch date with a friend of mine today, and I completely forgot that today was Thursday.
Oh, well, that's all right. We can have lunch tomorrow.
Are you sure you don't mind?
Well, I'll miss your lovely face across the table, but I'll live.
I'm really sorry about this.
Will you call me this evening?
I'll call you tomorrow morning. I'll probably be in a lot better mood. Bye, Craig.
Goodbye, Cassie.
Oh, thanks. You feel like typing?
Yeah, I guess.
Good, I want a soda. Anybody else want a soda? Yeah, I'll have one.
Yeah, I'd love one, Jen.
2, 3, 4 sodas? Okay, I'll be back.
Hey, it's all around. I'm going to use the phone to call my studio.
What's going on with you? Nothing, Dee. I'm just typing away here. I know, that phone call almost blew everything.
Yeah, well, I kind of panicked when Joy started clowning around.
Well, no, you had no choice but to hang up. I mean, if anything, I acted really suspicious. She's been asking me about this married man, you know, what is he like, where does he live? And now that Dee Dee's in town, things are going to be tougher than ever. Hey, they're my sisters, they're family. If anything ever happens, though, I know they'd cover for me.
I'd rather nothing happen, okay?
I can't even look them in the eye without getting a guilty face.
You can never tell them about us. Not now, not ever.
You don't know what it's like to have sisters. I mean, they have their little ways of finding things
I
out.
didn't give up my identity, my future, my whole damn life for you to blow it talking some girl talk with your sisters.
Relax, Brad. Nothing is going to happen.
I'm sorry. Look, I know what you're up against. But David and Jenny's lives depend on me. I can't take any chances. You could be in danger yourself. I'm sorry.
It's just that you've done so much for this other woman, and I just wonder if you and I will ever have a life together.
Snap at me. I'm worried about you. And you're not talking to him, so I'm assuming it's about Bud.
That's right. So why do you have to press me about him?
Is it over?
No. Well, you could try and act happy.
Well, I'm not happy.
Sorry. I'll tell you this much. He's out of town right now. He'll be back for a long time.
Is he with his wife?
No. Business.
Yeah.
I want to practice for a while.
I'm glad to hear it.
It's to relieve tension. It's got nothing to do with performing correctly for you.
Don't anger me, David. I have enough troubling me.
Oh, something not going as planned?
Your friends, the Buchanans, requested an embassy interview with you.
Oh, today, I hope.
We can't grant that, of course.
No, it would be difficult to masquerade as Jenny around two of her best friends.
They wouldn't be stupid enough to try to find you on their own.
There's nothing stupid about them. Don't underestimate them, Greta. They know they're being followed, but they're very loyal and they're very determined people.
Not too determined, I hope. Or else you and Jenny may wind up grieving for them.
I saw the letter with my own eyes. Yeah, and I saw Tina Lord with my own eyes, and they will never be the same again.
We figured that you might be able to figure this one out, Maria. Does this make any sense to you?
No, not at all. I think this is ridiculous. I mean, how would Mama know anyone like Clint Buchanan? And what was Tina Lord doing here? Why didn't she call? Or why didn't he call?
Well, she said that the letter got lost because of all the problems that the family's been having lately.
Uh-huh. Well, according to the National Intruder, Tina Lord and the Buchanans don't even get along. She's probably just trying to dig up some old dirt.
What kind of dirt could she possibly dig up?
Well, how should I know? All I know is that I don't want for this family to get involved with her.
Hey, Ma, come on, take it easy. She's just a real nice lady, just following up on Grandma's letter.
It's a little bit late, isn't it? Well, I'm just going to call her and tell her. No. No, I think I'll drive into town and talk to her. Just to make sure that this is over with and make sure that she leaves El Paso pronto.
Oh, whoa, hold on a second there, Ma. You know, one of us doesn't want her leaving too quick.
You should have seen old Cordero here. He did everything but propose to her 5 minutes after he met her. Wish you wouldn't go out to dinner with him. I thought he was going to have to be tied down, weren't you, Bud?
Cordero, for heaven's sake. Someone like you has no business messing with an heiress from up there. Now, you just forget about her, okay? And I will take care of Miss Lord.
Can you break away from that paperwork and have a little lunch, honey?
Yes, I've been doing more staring than working.
Oh, dear. You're worried about Clint and Vicky?
I'm worried about my next grandchild being in danger over there. I tell you, I can't wait for the little baby to be born.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I wonder whether it would have been a boy or a girl, you know, our baby that I lost.
Oh, honey, you would have had a beautiful baby girl. Take after its lovely mother. Uh-oh, that could be action in Vienna. Asa Buchanan.
Well, hello, father-in-law.
Dee Dee, hon, what's going on? You heard from Bo today?
No.
Isn't that boy ever going to get near a working phone? I mean, I have one son chasing spies in Europe and the other one roaming the jungles of Vietnam.
Well, you raised him. It's your fault.
I guess.
No, I'm just kidding you. I wanted to tell you that the new poll just came out, and Peter's ahead by 5 points. Now, if you give him a margin of 2 points for error, he is still ahead by 1 point.
That's a good thing, Dee Dee. I hate sinking my money in the dry wells.
Well, you just keep the faith there, okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hey, 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 hey! What? The deli owner has contributed the sodas to our cause.
All right.
Great.
And guess what else? Pete is leading in the poll.
Yeah!
Full excitement.
Yeah. Hi. Listen, you guys, I forgot my keys or I lost them. I don't know, but I drove all the way home and I realized I didn't set to my apartment.
Well, that's okay. We'll look for him. We'll find him. Well, we were talking over this there, so maybe you want to check it out over here, and I'll look over here.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
I'll find the phone for you.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I thought you'd be here. Maybe I don't know. So fine, I guess.
Did anybody have any luck?
Oh, yeah, I got him. Here they are.
Good.
They're in that pencil holder there.
Those are on the front door. Oh. Well, maybe you lost them before you got here. Probably. I probably did.
Kathy, why don't you dump your purse in? I bet they're in there.
No, I've already looked through it 3 times.
Well, look through it again.
Yeah, again.
Come on. The table.
Right, but it's silly. You might not.
Oh, well, look what we have here.
Surprise!
Don't worry, everybody does.
I know.
No
I
big
had to
deal.
drive all the way over here for somebody else to find them in my bag. All right, well, thanks a lot, you guys. Sorry about that.
No problem.
See you
Take
later.
care.
Bye. Bye, Kathy.
That is so weird. Maybe she is spying for her father's campaign.
No, she's just distracted about David and Jenny.
answered yet. Pam, I mean about me. Really? Well, good. Good. I'm glad he's suffering. Why should I call him? He didn't bother to return my calls before I left. Besides, I'm probably going to be back sometime today. And you will be happy to know that my mission here is a total bust. At least anyways it is. But I did happen to meet one of the most attractive men that I've met in a long time. Oh, and you'd be proud of me, Pam. He wanted to take me to dinner last night, and I refused, no matter how much I was dying to go. Oh, wait, someone's here at the door, okay? So, you'll hear from me either from Landview or from here, okay? Bye-bye.
Tina Lord?
Yes. Well, you must be Mrs. Roberts. Please come in.
Thank you. Miss Lord, I understand you have a letter from my mother written to Clint Buchanan?
Oh, yes, yes, it's right over here. Well, I see this upsets you.
I can tell you exactly what this letter is about.
Maybe something happened to her. Maybe they found out that she was trying to contact us. And
I think we should go back to the hotel and wait for word.
just a little more time, please.
Time isn't going to help. She's probably long gone by now, honey. Vicky, I'm going to point up at the palace, but I want you to notice those fellows over to the right of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
They've been with us since we started this visit.
Oh, no, Clint. Jenny could have walked right into a trap.
Or she could have seen them and decided not to join us.
Oh, she must be terrified. What can we do?
Only wait. We'll just wait. We'll make ourselves very visible, and we'll hope that Jenny gets to us before our friends get to her. Come on, maybe she's trying to reach us at the hotel.
Morgan. You would like a table, perhaps, over there with a good view of the door?
Yes.
I am surprised to see you again.
Well, I didn't expect to be back myself, but I don't have anywhere else to go, so...
I am so sorry. If you would permit me to join you for a few minutes, I would get to cafe and we would have a little talk. You are hungry, perhaps?
Very. Maybe a roll or something.
So good.
Thank you. I have to trust someone in this town. I wonder if it should be him.
So, what's first on the agenda? Do we hit a sled of mission, or would you prefer to take a little stroll along the Rio Grande?
I'm sorry, Gord, but I'm just not up to sightseeing.
You have no idea what you're missing. Do you know that El Paso is one of the great hidden treasures of the Southwest? And you are very fortunate to have me as your personal tour guide, because I can reveal to you great secrets.
What kind of secrets?
Well, like me. Hey, when you came down here, you had no idea that you were going to meet up with the likes of me.
No, you're right, I didn't. But my business is through here. There's no reason for me to stay.
I can think of a reason. Hey, that's not the letter from my grandma, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do me any good anymore anyways. I came down here for nothing.
Hey, all right. So your mission for Mr. Buchanan didn't work out too well. But I can think of a few things that might work out.
I'm sorry, Court, but I really do have to get back.
Do you know how old that church is? 1681. Now, have you ever seen a church that old? Okay, forget that. How about this? We can go down to Mexico. 5 minutes, we'll be in Juarez.
You know, I bet you really would be a great tour guide.
Just a proud Texas cowboy. And I would be a lot prouder, Tina, if you would just stay around and let me show you around for a little bit. Just a little while, please.
I can't.
What is the big rush? You got somebody waiting for you back home?
Not exactly. I don't know what's waiting for me back home. In fact, I don't even know if I really should be in Landview anymore.
Well, then what is the big hurry to be scooting back there, huh? Hey, you got something against El Paso?
No, how could I?
Oh, I see. Then it must be me that you've got something against.
No, Court, I really do like you.
Yeah, and I really like you too, Tina. So what is the big deal here?
I just think it's better if I don't see anyone for a while.
Why? You've been burned?
Yeah, more than once.
Who hasn't? But if you let that stop you, you might as well just roll over and die. Tina, look, I'm not putting any big moves on you here. I like you, and I'd like to get to know you a little better. Now, if you don't trust me...
I didn't say that.
No, really, that doesn't bother me, because, hey, you come to a new town, who wants to go sightseeing with some cowboy you just met? But I just happen to have a better idea. Do you like parties?
Yeah?
Well, did you see the sign downstairs in the lobby?
What, the one about a volunteer fireman's benefit?
Right. It's going to be a real down-home shebang. And it's going on all afternoon. It'll give you a chance to meet a lot of nice people. Now, if you let me, I'll teach you the Texas two-step, fill you up with a lot of real good food, and if I get out of line even once, you just say, adios, amigo, and I won't bother you ever again.
Court, I didn't say I don't trust you.
Then come on. Say yes.
Yes!
Well, all right, yeah. Oh, I gotta warn you, though, it's not gonna be anything fancy.
It's fine. I've had enough fancy back in Landview.
Okay, then. I guess I'll pick you up about 11:30. How's that?
I'll be ready.
No running out of me now.
Well, I told you, believe me, you can trust me.
Okay. Later.
Yeah.
Danke. Your boss doesn't mind if you take a break?
I am the boss.
Oh.
Where do you come from, gnädige Frau? Pardon me, I know you think that I am prying, but...
Originally, I'm from Oklahoma, in the southwestern part of the United States.
I never got that far. I lived with my grandparents in Chicago, Illinois, from the time I was 8 until I was about 16.
Really?
So I have fond but bewildering memories of America. How do you like... I was about to ask you how you like Vienna, and then I remember that you are not very happy here at all.
No. To be honest with you, I'm afraid for my life, and I don't know what to do anymore.
And your trouble must be worse than I thought. Can't you go to the Polizei, the police?
No, I can't do that.
And what about your embassy?
I can't go there either.
Well, perhaps it is they that are looking for you.
No. I'm not a criminal. I haven't done anything wrong. I need some help. Not that much help. And it's nothing that would be dangerous.
What kind of help?
I need to get a message to my friends that are staying at the Soccer Hotel. I would go there myself, but I'm afraid that somebody might recognize me.
So you could use the telephone in my office?
No, I don't want to do that either.
I feel bad. I have started this, and now, madam, it sounds as if your trouble is too big for me to be involved. I have a family, this cafe to protect.
Please, if you could just leave a message at the hotel. Tell them to meet me here at 5 o'clock. I'll be back. I'm sure they'll respond. Nobody will know that you arranged this.
These people that you are worried about, they always seem to know much more than one expects.
Yeah. I don't have the right to ask you to do that anyway. Sorry.
I gave you the opportunity. I saw a sad and terrified woman, and I came forward. I apologize now for having to back down. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But if you do find it in your heart to help me, my friend's name is Buchanan. I really would understand if you didn't. Yeah. I appreciate your information about the Belvedere Gardens and the palace. Thank you so much. Bye.
Just a moment, Mom. I'll be right there.
Darling, I'm sorry to think you've forgotten about me.
Impossible. Forget about you? Are you busy? Well, I was going to run some errands, but I was, half
Good, you've got time to talk. Have you heard about this series of articles that Richard Abbott is going to do in the Banner? Something different about you. You look different. Hair,
Really?
makeup, what?
Yeah, well, I was just experimenting, Do you like it?
Well, if you feel like experimenting, why don't you call my new makeup artist, Leo? Oh, he really knows what he's doing.
Great idea. So what about these articles?
Oh, Richard Abbott is going to do a series of articles about the spies of Landview, and he is going to include none other than Paul Kendall. So he's going to take the spotlight off of David, and he's going to put it right on me.
Oh, Mom, I'm sorry.
So am I. I have a great idea. Darling, why don't the two of us just go away somewhere together? We could go to an island, a resort, anything.
You mean just leave?
Yes, exactly. I mean, what can we do around here? Nothing. And besides, I'm worried about you. I don't want you turning on a television and watching your father's farewell performance, hearing him give his defection speech.
I can't, Mom. Can't leave.
All right, then move in with me.
What good is that going to do?
I don't know. Why don't we spend some money? Let's go on a shopping spree. My treat.
Now that I can deal with. Only let's plan it for tomorrow, because today I have some boring shopping to do. Like I have to buy groceries, and I pick up my dry cleaning, and I'm having dinner with some friends, so.
Oh, darling, that is music to my ears. It means I finally have convinced you to give up on the idea of going to Austria. Oh, honey, really, it's such a relief to me. It means you're finally over that stubborn, impulsive streak of yours. Oh, All right. Now, what time are we going to meet tomorrow morning so that we can hit all the expensive shops?
How about before they open? Let's meet for breakfast.
Great idea. Would it be all right with you if I brought Connie along? She's been so depressed about Brad.
Sure, of course.
Marvelous. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Okay.
Sweetheart, if you need anything, I want you to call me.
I will. I promise.
I love you.
I love you too, Mom.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Dear Mom, a few minutes after you left, it hit me that you're right. Getting away is the answer. Guess I'm not through my impulsive stage yet. I'm hopping in my car and I'm driving up the coast. New sights and new people will help. We'll go on that shopping spree when I get back. I'll be in touch. Thanks for the idea. Love, Cassie.
You heard him. He'll call you later.
I'm not leaving here until I'm finished.
Oh, Tina, please.
What? You two can wait outside just as easily as I can. I have every much of a right to talk to Richard as you do. In fact, maybe even more.
Let me remind you of something. Vicki and I are still in control of this newspaper.
Yeah, and you're in control of Landfair, and you're in control of my money. What, you want to be in control of my social life, too?
We're not concerned with your interest in Richard, Tina, which, by the way, I wish you would handle on your own time and not the Banners.
Oh, since when did you get so concerned about the banner? You haven't been here in weeks.
Some things in this world are more important than whether or not you snag Richard Abbott.
That is a very insensitive remark.
Apparently, that is the only way to talk to you.
Don't insult
All right, stop
me.
it, both of you. Tina, come on, this is not the time.
All I wanted was to talk to him about something personal.
I'm sorry, but we are dealing with something that could be a matter of life and death, Tina. And the last thing we need, or Richard needs, is your personal problems.
Well, that's right, because that's all I've ever been to you, isn't it? One big problem.
Oh, good. Do we get to talk about that now?
No, we certainly don't, because it doesn't do any good, because you don't listen to me anyway. Hope I never see any of you again. Hello?
Hello, Tina. How you doing? It's Cord. Figured I'd call and check up.
I told you I wouldn't run out on you.
No, that's not why I called. I know that you've never been to one of these Texas shindigs before, and I just wanted to call and let you know that there's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, I'll be fine if I can just figure out what to wear.
Hey, don't worry about that. Nobody cares what you wear to these things.
Well, I do. And in fact, I was thinking of running to a boutique or something, because I'm not exactly fully equipped with Western gear.
I'm sure that you were going to look wonderful in whatever you decide to wear. All I care about is the woman who's wearing the clothes.
And all I care about is the man that's accompanying her.
You really mean that now?
Don't you believe anything I say?
Sure I do. But, you know, Tina, you and I, hey, we come from mighty different worlds.
Yeah. That's one of the things I really like about being here. I feel like I am breathing fresh air for the first time in a long time. And believe me, Cord, I would not miss this state for anything in the world.
Hello. Well, did you talk to her?
You bet.
Well, what'd you think? She's really something, isn't she?
If you like that type, which I don't.
Did you figure out anything about that letter that your mother sent to Clint Buchanan?
Yeah, I did. You know, it hit me when I was driving into town. I mean, the name Buchanan is known all over Texas, right?
That's right, it should be. They own a good part of it.
Well, I bet that Mama read somewhere that Clint Buchanan ran a big city newspaper, and she knew that Cord wanted to be part of a newspaper business.
Are you saying that she tried to hook up Cord with some kind of job with a newspaper business?
Makes sense to me.
Well, it wouldn't like your mother to interfere in Cord's business.
Al, you know how much she loved him. I mean, obviously, all she was trying to do was help.
Well, I can't imagine her wanting to see her grandson move 2,000 miles away to Landview, Pennsylvania.
Al, that's it. That's why Mama never told us about the letter. Because she knew it would break our hearts if Cord had to leave. And in her mind, she probably thought if he could get a job with a big newspaper like the Banner, it'd all be worth it.
Well, Maria, that's a real wild card. Your mother didn't play that way. And even if she did, why wouldn't she mention something about the job in the letter, see?
Well, I guess it was just all part of a plan, but she just didn't live to go through with it. But I know one thing. She only wanted the best for all of us.
Ma, don't you look pretty?
Thanks.
What are you so fired up about? Got me a date with an angel, that's why.
Oh, that's not such big news.
Well, it is this time, because it's an angel that Grandma sent straight down from heaven.
Oh, you got a date with that city gal, huh?
Yeah, she's my yellow rose of Texas. She beautiful or what?
I thought she was leaving town.
Well, she was until I talked her out of it.
Why'd you do that?
Pretty obvious, don't you think, Ma?
Even after she turned you down the first time?
Well, it's lucky that I don't give up pretty easy, huh? I asked her again, she said yes. So we were going to spend all afternoon over at the fireman's benefit. Which reminds me, Pa, can I borrow your new hat tonight?
Well, your head's so swollen right now, I doubt if it'll fit, but help yourself.
Cord, you know, this is really a mistake. I mean, she's used to fancy dress parties and big discos, and, I mean, she's just going to have a dreadful time.
Now, how do you know so much about her?
I've seen her type.
Court's his own man. He can find out for himself. Yeah. Right,
No,
Court?
she reminds me of one of those cheap city girls on those cop shows.
Ma, what is with you?
Well, usually you have better taste. Oh, honey bunch, I just don't want you to get hurt.
Ma, I'm only taking her to the fireman's benefit, not marching her down the aisle.
Which reminds me, whatever happened to Louine,
Oh,
Cut-
Ma,
what's her
forget
name?
about her. Well, what is this anyway? You trying to tell me who I can and can't date?
No, I'm just trying to talk sense.
Well, you had me fooled. From what I can see, there's not a thing wrong with that Tina. Quite the opposite.
Hear that? Ought to listen to your old man, Ma. He's a pretty smart guy.
Hello, sweetheart.
Darling,
Got a couple of messages.
who from?
One from Asa, checking in, wants to know if his favorite grandson is all right.
Now, just how does your father know that I'm walking around carrying a baby boy inside me?
Honey, you know, Pa, there can never be too many Buchanan men in the world. I got a message here from a Hans Friedrich. Wants to know if I'm the Buchanan who raises horses, breeds horses. He also wants to know if we can meet him across the street at the cafe this afternoon for a cup of coffee.
Do you think that this Hans Friedrich...
I was hoping I'd find someone around here to talk horses with. I think he's a breeder himself.
Oh, right. Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I wonder when we'll hear about our request to interview David and Jenny.
Well, I don't know. It's going to have to be soon. That farewell concert is tomorrow. Doesn't give us much time.
I know how deeply Jenny loves David. But if I could only hear it from her that they're doing this willingly, I'd go home so relieved.
I know, sweetheart, I know.
As much as I hate the thought of them choosing to live in a communist country, at least they wouldn't have to hide anymore, and that's reassuring, too.
Well, it's easy for us to judge in our position, honey, but in similar circumstances, we'd probably do the same thing. I'll tell you what, why don't we wait a few minutes and then call the embassy again about our request?
Yes, good idea. Why don't you turn the radio on, darling? After all, we are in the classical music capital of the world.
I checked the place for bugs, but that doesn't mean that I didn't miss one.
Do you think that this Hans Friedrich could be Richard's contact?
I'm hoping so, or else is Jenny leaving us a phony message?
Either way, we'd better get over there right away. And no matter what happens, we have to keep pressing about the interview.
Mrs. Buchanan, Mr. Buchanan. I'm Dirk Keller, a government liaison officer, serving as spokesman for the Maestro Rinaldi and his wife.
Oh, yes, please, come in.
Thank you, thank you.
Can we see them?
Oh, well, I'm afraid I'll have to wait till tomorrow afternoon.
But that's when the press conference and the concert is.
Yes, correct. Exactly. You see, although the Rinaldis cherish your friendship so very, very much, they have told me that they have declined your invitation for a private talk.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it does from their position. You see, they are certain that your purpose is to convince them that they've made a mistake. And they prefer to avoid any mutual pain that this would bring about.
But that's ridiculous. I mean, they're adults. We're not going to try and talk them out of anything. We simply want to be convinced in our own minds that this defection is their choice.
Oh, I'm sure you do, but it's just that they don't want to see you privately.
I find that very hard to believe.
Oh, I know that. I fully understand you'll find that a difficulty. On the other hand, well, I hope that your invitation is in order to tomorrow's appearance.
As far as we know it is, yes.
And if there's anything that I can do to save any problem, don't hesitate to call upon me at the Book Theater.
Would you ask him one more time to see us, please?
I will certainly try. And now, thank you very much for seeing me. Goodbye. Oh, I almost forgot. Mrs. Rinaldi asks you to keep in contact with her godchild, Mary. She thought you'd understand.
Thank you. Yes, tell her I will.
Thank you. I'll see myself out.
you think they've recaptured Jenny?
Well, he's sure trying to make it sound that way, isn't he? But I don't think we can let ourselves believe it, honey. I think we have to proceed along the lines as if she were still on the loose.
But he's so believable and so damn confident.
Well, that's all part of the act. Look, why don't we get over to the cafe and meet this Hans Frederick? And remember, don't stray from the subject of horses unless he makes it very obvious that he is Richard's contact.
This is the last call for International Express, Flight 456, non-stop to Vienna. All passengers
Boarding passage?
wishing to board must do so
And your passport.
immediately at gate 17.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Just a moment, miss. Your passport, please.
Do I look all right?
You do Sam Houston proud. Brought you a little present.
You didn't have to do that.
Well, I knew you were worried about looking authentic at this thing today. So,
Gord, I love it.
yeah.
Thank you.
And I didn't get that at any fancy boutique either. Bought that at a genuine Western shop.
Well, I'll just have to wear it for the party.
Great.
Well, how do I look?
You look great. But heck, you look nothing but great since the minute I saw you.
Thank you, sir.
I just can't figure it out.
What?
Why you said yes.
Well, you're a pretty hard man to turn down.
I really didn't mean to twist your arm like that.
Well, maybe I like the way you twisted it. You're very different from any other man I've ever known.
You know, this is none of my business, but I just can't figure out how any of those fellas back home ever let you go.
Boy, you really say what you feel, don't you?
I like people to know where I stand.
Well, that's nice. I mean, that's a change, too. Most of the men most men I know are so sophisticated they even start to believe their own lies.
Oh, when I tell a lie, it's usually a whopper. And you can see it on my face a mile away. But I promise you, Tina, that is one thing I will never do with you.
You really do like me, don't you?
Who in their right mind wouldn't?
Well, I can think of a few people, but they're a long way away from here. And I don't know, Cord, even though most people would think I was, you know, being sophisticated and everything from the city and I think deep down I'm just kind of a simple girl myself.
Well, the way I see it, everybody only wants the same thing. The only thing that's different is the packages.
Are you sure it's not just the packaging that you like?
Well, you'll never hear me complaining about that. There's something else about you, Tina. Something real special. And I can't wait to take you out and show you off.
Are you sure I'm wearing this right?
Looks perfect to me.
All right, cowboy. Let's go party.
All right, cowgirl.
No one bothered me about my passport.
No harm in taking extra precautions.
Here you go.
Have a nice trip.
Thank you very much.
Meine Herren, Mittagessen?
If that means would we like a table, yes, Dankeschön.
Please, share mine. Bud Van Dyke, we met at the Morrison Horse Ranch in Kentucky about 3 years ago.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, right. We were dealing on the same piece of horseflesh.
Mm-hmm. And you won, as I recall. But I remember reading somewhere that it was your loss after all.
Well, unfortunately, old sweet and sour Sue didn't quite have it in her.
Please, join me.
Oh, thank you. We'd love to. Thank you, sir.
So, are you here to attend the horse breeding lecture at the museum tomorrow?
Oh, we didn't know anything about it. It's my café, bitte.
So.
Boy, is it wonderful to see you.
Likewise.
I'd have walked right by you with that beard.
So has Jenny tried to contact you yet or not?
No, not yet. But we know we're being followed, and we're assuming that she may have gotten close enough to us to see that, so she's staying away.
But you haven't laid eyes on her. Me neither. So we don't know whether they got her again or not, right?
No, but we had a visitor who certainly tried to convince us that she's still with David. A fellow named Dirk Keller. Well, that's the name he was using, anyway. He said that David and Jenny refused a personal interview with us.
Nonsense.
Well, we agree with that, although we didn't really expect to be granted the interview at all. The thing is that he seemed much more interested in the fact that we believed that his government had them both.
Jenny supposedly passed on a message that Vicky should stay in contact with Mary.
Well, that does sound like something Jenny might say.
Brad, keep smiling, will you? We're talking horses, remember?
Yes, it's just hard to smile when you feel like you've already lost the race.
We just have to keep looking for her. That's all there is to it. If we fail, well, at least we tried.
Well, I haven't gotten anywhere myself, but I have an idea. There really is a horse breeding lecture tomorrow at the National History Museum, given by a Viennese breeder whose name I can't pronounce. I have a contact here through Richard Abbott, who's in the newspaper business. His name is Hans Frederick.
That's the fellow who left the message for us to meet him here.
Right. He's going to make sure your name appears in this evening's edition as distinguished guests of tomorrow's lecture. I'm hoping Jenny will see it and show up.
Oh. Speaking of horse racing, I think it's a long shot.
Yeah, I figure the odds are about 10 to 1, but you got a better idea?
Which means we still might not know whether she's free or being held captive even after the lecture.
I keep thinking that Jenny will be sharp enough to use a disguise or somehow,
Well, I'm sure Rita would love to meet you. I'll have her join you tomorrow at the museum.
Oh, that's great. And what about the two agents who are obviously going to be accompanying us?
Well, do you think you could recognize them, or do they keep switching them on you?
I think I'd know him if I saw him again.
Good. I'm not going to meet you tomorrow at the museum. I think I'm going to hang back and take my time, see if I can spot Jenny looking for you. So far, I'm not implicated in any of this, so nobody will be looking for me, right?
Unless this little meeting has alerted them.
Yeah, in which case we should probably talk a little louder and laugh about our wins and losses at the track. And then bid each other fond farewell and pray like hell.
Another prize.
Yeah, and I deserved it, too. I busted me the meanest bronc ever to come out of the panhandle.
Hey, have you tried the new mechanical bull they got?
No, I haven't.
Bet you can't bust that one.
Oh, yeah? I'll take you on, pal. Meet you over there in a little bit. Okay.
But they have a mechanical bull here?
Yeah, you want to try it?
No, I'm having a hard enough time with the dance.
Come on, I'll show you the two-step. Ready? One.
Your invitation, please. Plymouth Victoria Buchanan.
Move along, woman. Do your begging on
No, please. No, please. Please.
Move along. Both of you kids are down and I'll have you arrested on the track.
You never tried before. Hey, come on. This time, let's really show them what you're
Now let me catch my breath, okay?
Whatever the lady wants. Old Cord's got himself a hot one. Yeah, looks like she could use a little cooling off.
Well, you're a popular guy around here.
Hey, darling, that applause was all for you. You were the most exciting thing to hit this fireman's benefit since Judge Kaminsky swang from that chandelier by his teeth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cousin Bob. We got a real special treat for y'all this afternoon.
Especially you gals. Now, you know what I mean?
You got that wrong. The treat's for the guys.
Ford, what is that contraption?
It's an old relic from the Wild West.
What? They use it to execute cattle rustlers?
No, not hardly. It was used to keep a certain part of the population in line.
All right, now, here it is, ladies. Payback time for all those rolling pins you've been throwing at us. All we need is one brave gal to sit up here in this chair.
Well, and then what happens?
See those buckets up there?
Yeah.
They fill them up with water. Then the guys get to buy chances to throw beanbags over there at the target.
You mean that?
Yep.
Oh, come on now, ladies. There must be one volunteer out there which got true grit.
Go on, Reba, you can do it.
You ruined my hairdo.
Arlene, I promised you'd do it, baby.
Last year was one time too many, dude.
Oh, now how about it, Dwayne?
You heard the lady. Besides, the dress belongs to her sister.
Dude says found somebody new.
You're not going to tell Cousin Bob there's nobody out there with some good old-fashioned Texas courage?
Hey, Cord's got himself something new. Yeah, Cord, she can dance a lick, but is that all she can do? Don't let them get to you, Tina. They're only giving you a little fun.
Thanks for the compliment, guys, but I really think I'd rather watch.
Oh, yeah? Is that the way you pay us back for our hospitality? Yeah, I thought Cord liked to fill you with spirit. I guess I was wrong, huh, Cord? Okay, Freddie, that'll be about enough. I say we put her in the chair and play the game. Yeah.
But you wouldn't really do that, would they?
Oh, don't worry, honey. It ain't gonna hurt. Heck no. You make all kinds of new friends once they see how fine you look soaking wet.
I really don't think this is funny, you know. I really don't.
Here, woman, I have something for you.
Who are you?
Well, I don't have a name. I used to have one, but I gave it to someone else. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's going to be all right. Come on. Come on, let's take a walk.
Any sign of Jenny?
None. Vicky and Clint Bunchden are already inside.
She may come late, sir. And meet them when they come out. Sasha, go to the stairs and watch them. Klaus, circulate the statue. I'll stay here on the western gate. You go over onto the other side, Rupert. And keep your eyes open. She may come in some sort of disguise.
Oh, she's driving up the coast.
Did you suggest this to her?
Yes, I did, but I just don't understand why she's being so impulsive. Why would she leave me a note instead of just calling me?
Maybe she's not driving up the coast.
Connie, don't make me any more panicky than I already am. If my daughter says that she's driving up the coast, then that's what she's doing. She's driving up the coast, and she's not jumping on an airplane and going to Vienna.
Well, Dorian, I hope that your daughter has not flown over there and put Brad into more danger than he already is. I really hope so.
They're very interesting artifacts in this museum, darling. I'm glad we decided to come early before the lecture to see the exhibit.
Louder, sweetheart. I don't think that agent heard you.
What?
Same fellow I noticed at the cafe yesterday.
What if Jenny walks in?
Well, there's probably a dozen of those fellows around. Let's just hope Brad stops her outside.
If she comes here at all.
Oh, Brad. Tell me I am not imagining this. Tell me that it's really you.
Well, now the name is Van Dyke. Bud Van Dyke. If you ever doubted that I'll always love you, even in this getup, you're still the most beautiful woman in the whole world.
I have never been happier to see anyone in my life.
That makes two of us.
Oh. What are you doing here?
I'm looking for you.
How'd you know?
Vicky.
I just want to look at you. I didn't think I'd ever see a friendly face again. I didn't know who to trust. Oh, thank God. Thank God you came.
Hey, come on. You think I was going to let an ocean and a bunch of foreign agents keep me away from you when you need my help?
We saw your warning in the intruder, but it was too late. We didn't get the paper until weeks later, and by then they already knew where to find us.
I think maybe we should find another place to talk.
We've got to be really careful, Brad. They're following Vicky and Clint. I saw them in the Belvedere Garden. That's where I was supposed to meet them.
I know.
I didn't know what to do. Brad, those men are armed, and they are determined to make this charade work.
And it is a fraud. They're holding David against his will.
Yeah, they've even got another woman who's posing as his loving wife.
Yeah, I saw her pictures. I knew it wasn't you. Clint and Vicky didn't believe it either.
I just saw them going to the museum. I tried to get their attention, but they didn't recognize me.
Yeah, well, let's hope no one else does either. We probably have agents watching the building now. Maybe they even followed Clint and Vicky inside. What we have to do is get you out of here very carefully.
You don't think you're being followed?
No, I doubt it. I was very careful. They think I'm a racehorse owner from Baltimore. I kind of like to keep it that way.
It is so good to see you. If anyone does see us, you just walk away. I'll stay here. They don't expect to see me dressed like this. I love your beard.
No.
I worried about you so much. I kept thinking about the sacrifice you made for us.
Hey, you know, it's funny. I lost you, lost my home, my identity, and given my past record, I thought things would just get worse. But they didn't. You know, David gave me that Opal, and my luck suddenly changed.
I feel like mine is changing already.
The lady said no thank you.
Step aside, Cord. This is for charity.
So is the county hospital. How'd you like to get there in an ambulance?
Hey, cool it down, Cord. We're just out having some fun.
Yeah, well, your idea of fun and mine ain't the same thing. Goes for the rest of you guys. Anybody else tries to volunteer Miss Lord here against her will, they're gonna end up eating those beanbags for supper. You got me?
No problem, Cord. We just have to find ourselves another victim. I mean, volunteer. Now, who's he gonna be?
See, they're the ones who should apologize.
No, they're your friends. Maybe I should have even gone along with it. But, you know, it's your first date. I didn't want to look like a drowned rat. Vain, weren't you?
First off, I think that you would look a little bit more like a little wet mink.
Well, I do love mink. Well, I mean, it's so cute and everything.
And the other thing is, you don't strike me as the least bit vain. You've got a lot of gumption to be able to stand up to Jocko and Freddie like that. That's a lot more than I can say for any of the other women around here.
And you don't regret bringing me here?
Grant, are you kidding me? Hey, I have been busting my buttons ever since I walked in here with you on my arm. I just wish you didn't have to go so soon.
Don't tell me. The policeman's benefit is tomorrow.
Well, close. There's a rodeo coming into town on Saturday, and I'm down for the fucking Bronx.
What? Didn't you just win first prize?
That was just at a local hometown rodeo. I mean, I'm talking about the real thing here on Saturday.
You know, I think you would like to win all the prizes.
Yeah, I think I would. But in something other than just bronco busting.
Like what?
Well, last year I kind of wanted to enter some photographs I took in the state fair in the arts and crafts division.
Well, why didn't you?
I don't know. I think if I would have won, I might have been tempted to take my camera out into the big wide world and test my luck.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with El Paso either. I have been pretty lucky here so far.
Must be nice. To be lucky, I mean.
So what about you, Tina? If you could have anything you wanted, if you could just reach out there and grab it, what would it be?
Anything? Everything.
And just how would you go about getting that?
You see, that is the problem, because I don't seem to have an ounce of talent.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't. I thought maybe I might inherit some money, but that didn't pan out. So I guess I'll have to get my money the old-fashioned way. Marry it.
Whoa. That's an honest answer. Can't say that I like it very much.
Well, you might as well get to know me and how I think. You and I were just like two strangers that sit next to each other on a plane. I mean, we can sit and we can get as close as we can, but once the plane lands, we're never going to see one another.
Well, I guess that's it, folks. I guess we're just going to have to call off the old dousing contest. We just seem to have a shortage here of gutsy females.
Sound like fighting words to me.
Tina.
No, I made a jackass of myself over a lot less worthy things than this, Corey. You have got yourself a volunteer.
Well, all right.
Since I got the first toss.
Make that 20.
Resolve this thing very quickly. Kathy does not normally carry her passport around with her, so we
Good
will
idea.
Search the apartment, go through her drawers, her desk here. She'll just have to excuse the invasion of her privacy because right now it's a matter of my sanity.
Well, if Kathy's gone to Vienna, I'm going too.
Oh, wonderful. I think it's terrific to take a complicated situation and compound it. Really, Kathy. Oh, my God. And you know what this means? She's left it here, so she can't go driving around and suddenly decide to fly off to Vienna. We can relax.
Fine. You relax. I'm going home to pack.
Honey.
Dorian, I won't get in anyone's way. Gee, I've never been to Vienna. I've certainly never witnessed a maestro's final performance, so I'm going.
Brad will never forgive you.
Well, I hear all you Texans are sharpshooters, huh? Now, boys, here's your chance.
Oh, you hear that, cowboys? Now you let that Yankee Philly talk that way? I got lots of tickets to sell.
I'll be happy to oblige you, ma'am. No way, Freddie. I get first licks.
I believe that the rules say that the fellow who brought her gets to take the first shot.
Man's got a point, gentlemen. Come on, Gordon. You're up.
Of course, I'm going to be done for glad it's by you, so, take your best shot.
Hey, come on. What do you say?
Tell me what you got.
Here goes.
There's Cord over there. There.
Never was much of that game, but I guess this is for the homeless kids. That boy of ours can knock over a beer can at 100 yards. What's wrong with him?
I've got a pretty good idea.
I think maybe you Texans aren't all you're cracked up to be.
Oh, well, I'll be. It's that little gal from the east.
Yeah, well, if they gave me a shot, I wouldn't miss.
What have you got against her, anyway?
She's nosing around family business, and I don't like it.
Oh, come on, Cord, you're not even trying. Let somebody else try.
Well, you explained your mom's letter to him, didn't you?
Well, you know I did. So why didn't she just pack up and leave?
Hey, maybe she found something here to her liking, you know, like Cord. I wouldn't blame him a bit for sparing her a dousing. That little lady there has got some heart.
Oh, pitiful,
That was pretty bad, Gordon. You better step aside and let somebody else have a chance.
Buy a few more chances. You had your 3, plus another 3. That's right. Step aside, Cord. The real cowboy give the lady what she wants.
Dorian. Dorian.
Just a minute, Connie. I'm finishing a thank you note. I think you're going to really want to see this. It was taped to your front door.
Oh, my goodness. The post office is finding rather odd ways to deliver the mail, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's no postage, not even a return address.
Perhaps it was hand-delivered.
That's strange. I mean, why wouldn't they just ring the bell if it was so important to be delivered? Dorian? Oh, no. What's wrong? What is it?
Plain envelope, plain paper. But the message...
Dorian, you're really scaring me. What's wrong?
Say time heals all wounds. They're wrong. My wounds are as fresh and raw as the last time I saw you. Remember, Dorian? Remember my warning? I told you I would return. And I will.
What kind of a person would write something like that? Is it signed?
It doesn't need a signature. It's obviously from the twisted mind of Paul Kendall.
Is that the same guy that you talked about in the newspaper article?
Yes. He swore that he would have his revenge.
What a sicko. Well, there's only one thing we can do here.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to call the police, of course.
No, Connie. The police are the last people I want to know about this.
Dorian, if this Kendall guy is after you, you're gonna...
What is after is notoriety, publicity, cheap thrills. The police will just give him that, and they won't help us catch him. The Landview police haven't solved a crime in decades.
Well, we can't just leave you with no protection. Somebody has to know about this. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't worked for you this long for nothing. Do you want someone else in on this case?
Whoever did you have in mind?
Jonathan Russell? Am I getting warmer?
Oh, Connie, after the fiasco at Ace's party and so many embarrassments too numerous to mention, I couldn't possibly ask Mr. Russell for help.
Well, then again, he's an accomplished private detective. Someone you can count on in the clutch. I could call him for you.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, if you want to forget the whole thing.
No. Perhaps you're right. As you say, I certainly can't go unprotected, and since you were kind enough to offer, perhaps you would call him?
I'll call him right away. Don't worry, Dorian. I'm sure you're in very capable hands.
Oh. Yes, I'm sure I am.
You know, they must have David convinced that they're holding me hostage somewhere.
What makes you say that?
Because if he thought that I was dead, there is no way that he would go through with that press conference. The only thing that could make him defect is the fact that he might be protecting me.
All right, well, why don't you step forward and tell the whole world that Jenny Rinaldi's alive and free?
I thought of that, but they promised to take him away before anyone's the wiser. He'll be lost behind the Iron Curtain forever, or killed. And if he thinks that I'm free, he might risk an escape and fail.
Okay, I see what you mean. What we have to do is get word to David somehow that you're okay, and then we got a chance of getting him...
Oh, we got company. Those are the men that are following Vicky.
Gotcha. Here, woman, buy yourself a new hat.
Oh, Donka.
Walk back that way. Stay cool.
Somewhere, Beggarwoman? Or should I say Miss Rinaldi?
Oh, okay, Tina, honey. This one's for you. Whoa. Oh, man, come on. What's the matter? You blind or what? Get off my back, will you? I can't concentrate with people breathing on my back.
Well, you got 2 more shots, Jocko.
Well, maybe we ought to put the side of a barn up here so you can be sure to hit it.
You think you're smart, don't you?
At least I can throw a beanbag.
Hey, get a little closer,
Hey, Ma. Pa, how you doing? Glad you can make it.
Well, we wouldn't miss it for anything, son. Hey, that little gal of yours, she's really something.
Yeah, isn't she? Tell you, Ma, she's got almost as much gumption as you do.
Does she? Come on, Jocko, that's your name, isn't it? Pretty silly name. You sure you're not somebody's pet chihuahua?
Yeah, you can pet me later, baby. Right now, it's time for you to dog paddle. Are you kidding me? I'm just getting started. And then it's my turn, sweetback. The lady said she's had enough. Hey, I paid for my chances. I say when she's finished.
The hell you do?
You have asked for this, Cord.
Whoa, whoa, ow.
Good job, man.
Watch out, Cord!
Hey, come on. that enough?
I think we've all had enough, Cord. So that's it, folks. The contest is over.
Now, if I don't catch pneumonia or get arrested. Cord, I am so embarrassed.
Hey, you have no reason to be. Look, you are one hell of a lady, Tina. And then some.
Hey, now let's have a big hand for the little lady.
All right.
Is she something else? Is she something else?
Busy to come over, right?
Mr. Russell said to stay right here and don't let anyone in until he gets here.
Oh, good. I mean, thank goodness. I will certainly be able to breathe easier once he gets here.
Well, don't worry, I'll also be here.
Oh, no, that's not necessary, Connie.
Dorian, I'm not going to leave you alone here with some maniac still out there.
Oh, that's very considerate of you, dear, but Emma is here, and I can call her, ask her for anything that I need.
But I can see that that letter upset you very much.
I will be all right, I assure you, once Jonathan gets here and solves the mystery.
Well, what if there isn't any mystery about this? I mean, what if this Paul Kendall really did write that letter? Or maybe some crank read the article and posted that on your door. There are a lot of sick chickens out there, Dorian.
I know. That's why I'm sure that Jonathan is the one to handle it.
Are you sure you want me to go?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, what can you do here except keep me company while we worry, and that won't do any good.
All right. I guess you don't need me adding to your problems.
No, when Jonathan gets here, I'm sure that he'll take care of everything.
I'm not just talking about the letter. I mean, I know that you're concerned about Cassie, too.
Oh, well, now that I know that Cassie's driven up the coast instead of going to Vienna to look for David, I'm not at all worried about her.
Then you have heard from her?
No, I haven't. Why are you so concerned about Cassie's whereabouts?
I've got a lot on my mind, that's all.
You mean Brad?
I'd rather not talk about it.
You know, I'm surprised at you, truly. I would have wagered that you would be on a plane going after Brad.
Well, I had every intention of doing that, but then I couldn't. I mean, I had my passport and I was ready to go, but I couldn't. So, you take care of yourself, okay? And if you need anything, you just whistle.
Well, the lecture's already started 10 to 1. Jenny won't even show.
Well, she may have had trouble getting past the museum guards.
It wouldn't surprise me. They asked for every credential except for birth certificate. Why the hell didn't Brad check that out?
Honey, you can't blame Brad. Nobody knew that this was a closed lecture.
He should have. People's lives are at stake.
Clint, please.
And please nothing. It was his responsibility, sweetheart. This isn't just some harebrained scheme like he used to cook up a dream faces that didn't mean anything.
Well, the chances are that Jenny never even saw our picture in the paper. I mean, we knew it was a long shot.
Yes, and I'm beginning to think we were stupid for even playing it. He's probably been tailed since day one, and Jenny's just walked into one hell of a trap.
No, she's too smart for that.
Then where is she?
I don't know. But it's becoming obvious she's not going to show, and I don't think we're going to solve anything by standing around here.
Fine, so we're back to square one. All right, where to? The cafe?
Well, it's not much, but at least we can be on standby.
Standby for what? That's what worries me.
We got company. Those are the men that are following Vicky.
Gotcha. Here, woman, buy yourself a new hat.
Oh, Donka.
Walk back that way. Stay cool.
Going somewhere, beggar woman? Or should I say Miss Rinaldi? Can't go anywhere.
Please let me go. You got the wrong person. I don't know what you want.
It's okay, I've got her.
Tell you. Look for the phone.
Brad, please.
Go.
I can't leave you here, Brad.
Hey, you monkeys! Here I am. Try and catch me. Boom! Go! Follow me!
Cord.
You hear that?
Yeah, I do, and I'm flattered. Thank you, ladies.
Hey, well, maybe this will be the last year that we pull out the old Dawson rig. What do you say?
Let's just hope this all did some good and raise some money for all these poor homeless kids here in El Paso.
What'd I tell you, Maria? Does that little girl have spirit or what? Oh, come on, baby, what's wrong?
She's wrong. Can't you see that she is all wrong for Cord?
Now, don't get a burr on your saddle. All he's done is invite her to one party.
Invited her to a party, and she turned it into a wrestling match.
Baby, that was the best part.
Not for me, it wasn't. I'm telling you, Al, this girl is nothing but trouble.
Well, she doesn't seem to be troubling Cord. Or haven't you noticed that?
Here she is, star attraction.
Mr. Roberts, thank you so much for coming to my defense.
Well, I couldn't very well let this boy of mine hold all that glory now, could I?
And Mrs. Roberts, it's nice to see you again.
Go ahead, Ma. Tell Tina it's nice to see her, too.
I might, if there weren't so much of her to see.
Well, I guess we better get Tina all dried off.
Well, you take real good care of her, son, and you're a real breath of fresh air, mister. Real breath of fresh air. Don't you think so, Maria?
Well, don't wait for us. We'll meet you later at home.
Where are you going, Cord?
Well, I think the best way to dry this pretty little thing off is to do it the natural way, outside in the desert. Come on, Tina, it's only a short drive.
You two have a good time.
Did you hear that, Chaco?
Yeah.
Desert's a real lonely place, Freddie. Uh-huh. Maybe we ought to keep them company. Yeah. Come on.
They say that time heals all wounds, but they are wrong. My wounds are as fresh as they were the last time I saw you. That's very good. Remember my warning? I told you that I would return, and I will. Oh, that's perfect.
Dorian, your maid said to come right in. Are you all right?
Oh, Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you so much for rushing right over. I've been absolutely frantic.
All right, take it easy. Take it easy. Now, what's wrong?
Here, read this. I think it'll tell you the whole story.
Well?
Well, with your face on the tube all the time, I should imagine you'd be used to these crank letters.
That's all you have to say?
Dorian, if you're really worried about this Kendall character, call the police. That's what they're there for.
And that's your professional opinion?
Well, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
Yes, but...
Well, I mean, if you think that somebody is threatening you, well, then you need protection. And you should get the right kind.
I thought I had. But you're obviously not up to it.
I didn't say that. This is a matter for the police.
It's all right, Mr. Russell. You're obviously too busy to be bothered with my problem.
Whatever happened to Jonathan? I tell you know, I am involved in a very time-consuming case right now, yes. But that doesn't mean that I don't care what happens to you.
It's perfectly all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Russell, for stopping by.
Dorian, I didn't mean to dismiss the letter or its implications. If I sounded flip, I'm sorry.
There's no need for you to apologize. You made your position quite clear.
No, I don't think I did. Listen, if you get any more letters or threats of any kind at all, I'll be happy to see what I can do to help.
You've already saved my life once. I can't ask you to do it again.
Now, you don't have to ask. I'll be here. You know that.
I'm sure that I'm keeping you from that terribly important case.
No, Dorian, damn it. I'll be here for you.
I would really like to think that. But you are a very difficult man to figure out.
Yeah, you're not exactly easy yourself.
I could be a lot simpler than you imagine.
Never. Never in 100 million years.
Thank you very much for your time.
Listen, if you need anything, you just remember to call me, huh? And,
I will. I'll keep in touch.
yeah, you do that. But listen, I don't think that this guy will bother you anymore. It's probably just someone looking for a quick thrill. I don't think you'll find any more of his letters attached to your door.
I hope not. Thank you really very much for dropping by.
Yeah. I'll be seeing you, Dora.
Yes. Now I think I'm making progress.
Glad to speak to your group, okay? Look, let me just double check with him on the time, and I'll get back to you, okay? Great, great. Thank you, thank you. Hi, cutie. How's it going? It's going pretty great. Landslide great, or? But not exactly landslide. I mean, Herb Callison's a very tough opponent. We're going to need every vote we can get. Think they can do without one vote? I'm going to Europe. You what? Well, it just sort of hit me all of a sudden, you know. I haven't been very busy with Dorian, and there's not much else going on. You can't leave me here now. Why not? It's the perfect time for me to go. It's spring. I'm young. You can take care of Joy. I just have one small problem. I can't find my passport. Good. No, I mean, I know I left it here. I mean, I left my purse here. I must have fallen out of my purse. Would you please tell me what's going on? Travel bug. Pure and simple. Oh, well, where in Europe are you going to go? I was just going to kind of wing it. Rome, France, Vienna. Connie. Can you help me look for this, please? Connie. I know you're better than this. You just don't take off for Rome and Vienna and everything without a reason. What's the reason? I need a break. Now, who was here yesterday? The world was here yesterday. It was mobs. Now, you're not leveling with me on this. I can't concentrate, Dee Dee, if you're talking to me. Let me see. So I came in here yesterday. I was working. I was talking to Cassie. She saw me take the passport out of my purse. And she came back for her keys. Oh, my God, Dee Dee. Cassie stole my passport.
Darling, I'm really starting to get worried now. I mean, suppose Jenny did try to get into the museum and she was taken by agents.
Only there's nothing to do but sit tight and just hope that Brad makes contact.
Oh, I hope he will.
And I hope he does it before Oktoberfest.
Sweetheart, really, you don't have to be quite that hard on Brad.
I know. It's just of all the people for us to have to depend on.
But look what he's already done for Jenny. He changed his name. He changed his whole life. Now he's risking his life for her.
Yes, I know. I'm just frustrated, honey. There's got to be something we can do.
No, I think that patience is the order of the day.
Yeah, well, I have half a mind to call the American Embassy.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Why don't you call the Associated Press while you're at it?
Well, at least we'd have some good old-fashioned American muscle.
And what happens to David? He would be out of here in a flash, and before we knew it, he'd be behind the Iron Curtain.
All right. But there's got to be some kind of undercover group or something to work through.
We cannot take that chance. Please, Jenny is my dearest friend in the whole wide world. We have to do as she asks.
Excuse me, but I think we should talk.
Up there! Oh, come on, with me.
Do this to you, little kiddo, but it's all for love. You know that expression, all's fair in love and war. There you go. Oh, there's an eerie resemblance, isn't there? answer the phone. See? Dorian Lord here.
Yeah, Dorian, it's John.
Hello, John. I didn't expect to hear from you so soon.
Yeah, listen, are you all right?
Oh, I'm still terribly frightened, but I'm trying to deal with it.
Yeah, well, that's why I called. I really didn't mean to sound so indifferent to your problem.
Oh, John, come on, I understand. You're a terribly busy man, and you are right. I have gotten crank calls, crank letters before.
Well, I imagine so, but this one's been gnawing at me since I left your place, and I think what I'm going to do is get a little bit more serious about it. Fact is, I'm going to find out who's behind it, and that's a promise, Dorian.
Oh, John, really, I'm so relieved.
Well, I'll get back to you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Oh, little guy. I guess I won't be needing you.
And I told you we'd go to the desert to dry off.
Yeah, well, it's not your fault it rained.
I don't believe this. It never rains in El Paso. It must be you.
Me?
Yeah. You have turned this entire town upside down. You got firemen making fools of themselves. You got sunshine turning into rain. And you got me.
Yeah?
You got me acting like a Sunday school boy trying to ask a girl to go on a hayride.
Yeah, when I was in Sunday school, nobody ever asked me. I guess they didn't figure I was the type.
Well, then they were fools, every last one of them. Well, look, as long as we're here for the duration of the storm, might as well make ourselves comfortable.
Yeah. Well, this is pretty convenient, isn't it? Finding this stable here, unless, of course, you had this planned all along.
Tina, ma'am, I am shocked that you would even think something like that. Oh, but you gotta admit, this does make for a very cozy rest stop, doesn't it?
Very. Well, you said to make myself comfortable.
Yes, ma'am, by all means.
Oh, I must look a sight.
No, you look just fine.
Oh, wet like this? We bursted, that water dumped on me and then being caught in the downpour. Oh, I don't think I'll ever dry off.
Well, here, try that. It may help.
Well, you think of everything, don't you? You know, Cord, you really are a very nice man.
You know what I think, Tina?
No, what?
I think that you deserve a very nice man.
Overhearing.
Yes?
This friend you seem so concerned about. I have seen her.
Well, you know, we might not be talking about the same person.
Her name is Jenny. Do not be alarmed. I know she's in trouble. I only want to be of help.
Where do you see her?
Here, in the cafe. She would sit at the table for hours watching the Soccer Hotel, waiting for friends to arrive.
Friends? Did she say who they were?
An American couple by the name of Buchanan. Have I not found them? You must trust me. Jenny is so alone. She needs you desperately. I only want the best. I have already lied for her.
When?
Some men came in here. They looked dangerous. They had her photograph. They asked me if I had seen her.
And you told them you hadn't?
What else could I do? Obviously, they meant to harm her. I know your friend Jenny a little, and whatever this is about, I know she is innocent. She asked me to help her again, in fact, but I failed her.
Well, when was that?
Yesterday, she wanted me to get a message to her friends at the Soccer Hotel, but I was afraid for my neck, and I regret that now, and I will do whatever is necessary to be of help. You are those friends. If you want to help Jenny, you must trust me. Tell me what you want me to do.
till I get my hands on her.
We do have to find her first.
She couldn't have vanished. She has to be somewhere.
Something tells me that Jenny Rinaldi, a former nun, is closer than we think.
The church! I'll go in and drag her out.
Oh, no, you won't. We may, at last, have outgrown religion, but we do not want to offend those that still cling to it.
Then what do we do? Nothing?
You wait here. I'll go in there and make sure she is there.
Rain and light. Hey, those are two things that are pretty rare around here. Just like you.
Most people would say I was a dime a dozen.
Well, most people wouldn't know one end of a Brahma bull from another, too.
You know, you do have a very unique way of putting things.
Hey, if I was up your way, what was the name of that town again? Landview? I bet you that I would stick out like a century cactus.
Is there such a thing?
Blooms once every 100 years, so they say.
Whoa, and you call me rare.
Okay, we're even. You're you, and I'm me. You hear that? Sounds like the rain stopped already.
Yeah, I guess it has.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll be taking you back to your hotel, and you'll be making your way back to Landview. Back to whoever you got waiting for you there.
What makes you so sure I got somebody to go home to?
Don't try to tell me that you don't have a husband or two waiting by the fire.
Not a one.
You've never been hit.
Never.
Lord, what is wrong with those boys in Pennsylvania? Are they blind or something? You must have had your share of offers.
Cord, what I have had is my share of bad luck, especially where men are concerned.
I find that so hard to believe.
Well, they all look. And I guess they like what they see.
I should hope so. Otherwise, I really would worry about those boys out east.
But then I guess as far as marriage is concerned, money is a lot more important than looks.
Hell, you got both. Don't you?
No.
Well, you sure look rich enough. Sure dress rich enough, too. You trying to tell me that all that jewelry you're wearing is made out of plastic?
No, the jewelry's real, but it's all I've got instead of a bank account. Now, I used to have some money, but then I lost it just as fast as I got it.
And all those Yankee boys let something like money get in the way. I tell you, Tina, you are living in the wrong part of the country.
Now that I'm here, I'm starting to feel that way. Well, not to say that there weren't one or two exceptions.
Oh, I thought so. Who was he?
Oh, it doesn't matter what his name is. I mean, we were finished before we even started.
You jilted him?
No. No, the other way around. But you know, Cord, if I had dreamed of him, he couldn't have been more perfect for me. I mean, he's exactly what I thought I wanted.
So what happened?
Well, I lost the money that I thought was mine. And then I lost the house that should have been mine. And I lost him.
You know, we got a name for fellas like that.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault, really, anyways. After I lost everything, I kind of lashed out at everybody, including him.
You know, if he really cared about you, he would have understood.
That's what I thought. But I thought wrong.
So he dropped you.
Yeah, like a wet bale of hay.
I just can't figure it. I cannot figure out how any red-blooded American male would let someone like you slip through his fingers.
It's a real sweet thing to say.
No. No, that's not sweet. That's the truth. Look, I guess I got one thing going for me, huh? Money doesn't mean anything to me. Probably because I never had any. All I've got is a few pesos that my grandma's got stashed in some little bank in Mexico. Nothing else.
Cord, I think you have a whole lot more going for you than that.
Well, what was that for?
My way of saying thanks. Thanks for making me feel so welcome.
I'm telling you, Freddie, they turned off their road back there. The hell you say? They went this way. You want that gal? You know I do. Then turn around and make that turn. Something tells me I know just where they are.
Kathy, she's told me often enough how much she wanted to go to Vienna, but she would use her own passport. No, see, she couldn't do that, because the goons that are after David, they know who she is, and they spot her right away.
So what you're saying is she took your passport and she's in Vienna under your name?
Of course. What an idiot I was.
Well, why does that upset you so much?
Well, wouldn't you be a little mad if someone picked your purse?
Well, yeah, but I mean, think about Cassie, what she's doing. She's in danger right now, and wait a minute. Why are you so hell-bent on going to Europe?
We already went through that.
And don't tell me this stuff about you're young and everything. I know you better than that. Now, come on, what's going on?
I can't really tell you this, but it's important. Actually, you could help me.
Are you in trouble?
I need another passport. Do you think through your connections and your strings and any influence that you have?
This has to do with that man you're involved with, doesn't it?
Doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Don't lie to me. And don't you be throwing your life away on some man who's cheating on you.
I'm not throwing my life away. Come over here, come over here. Okay, I've been wanting to tell you this for a long time. I should tell you. You have to promise me you won't tell anybody, though.
Honey, I love you.
Okay, where do I start? The man I've been seeing. I shouldn't tell you this. I can't tell you this.
I can't help you if you don't trust me.
Oh, I trust you. I've just been sworn to secrecy.
Do you want me to help you?
He's in danger. Isn't that enough reason for you to help?
And I'm supposed to put you in danger and pack you off to Europe and give you a passport for somebody that I don't even know?
Dee, please.
I can't do that. Especially if it's for a passing affair with somebody that none of us even knows anything about.
It's Brad Vernon.
Please, Father, you have to help me. I don't have anywhere else to go.
Sanctuary is a great privilege. It can only be given for the best of reasons.
My life is in danger. Isn't that reason enough?
You're sure these men were following you?
Yes. They have been for days.
Does that explain why you look like a beggar?
It's the only disguise I could come up with. Please, Father, they almost caught me right outside the church.
You could call the police.
No. No, see, that would make matters worse. I can't explain it. It's too complicated, but someone I love very much is in trouble. And if I called the police and those men found out about it, they would kill him. Please, Father, I beg you.
Yes?
I am sorry, Father. There's a man outside. He insists that we release this woman. Shall I let him in?
What did I tell you? That's Cord's pickup. Hot damn, Jocko! Oh, Miss Tina sure appreciates all the trouble we're going through for her. She will, Freddie. She will.
While I do not understand your plight, I sense its importance. I can also see your own goodness and your honesty. I will talk to this man myself. And he will not know that you are here.
Thank you.
Sister, you will please show this young lady to the sacristy. Lock the door and keep the key on your own person.
This way, please.
God bless you, Father.
You wish to see me?
May I come in?
By all means. How can I help you?
I believe a beggar woman is seeking to hide in this church.
Oh?
And I have to demand that you hand her over.
Who are you?
Vienna police.
May I see your credentials?
Oh, I left them in my car. Bring the woman out now, and that'll save us a lot of time and trouble.
And what has this poor woman done?
She's a menace to her community.
Even if I had seen a beggar woman, I hardly turn her over to a policeman without credentials.
Do you deny that she's here?
Believe me, there is no beggar woman in this church.
She's mad, you know. She is under some delusion that people are chasing her now that she's sheltering.
I am not in the habit of lying. You must take my word. There is no beggar woman.
I know she's here. All right, Father. Have it your way. She must come out sooner or later, and when she does, I'll be waiting.
And the call came from Jenny the night of Ace's party.
But you said Brad was already on his way to Vienna by then.
Well, he was supposed to go there to see if Jenny and David were in danger. But so much has happened since then, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's captured or hurt. Oh, my God.
No, honey, if anything happened, we would have heard that by now.
All right.
Well, I'm glad that you told me this. I know it was really hard for you, but I have to ask you, why Brad? Why are you back with him?
Because I love him. He broke your heart. That was a long time ago. He's changed.
What has he changed? He's changed his name. He's changed his appearance. He broke your heart. You're going to go through that again?
He's different. Look at what he's done for David and Jenny.
I don't think a lot of that had to do with David.
He doesn't feel the same way about Jenny. That's what you're thinking.
Well, then who did he give up his identity for?
For himself. He didn't like the person that he had become.
Oh, come on.
Wait
honey, I
a
can't believe
minute. That is true. He hit rock bottom. He hated himself. He did sacrifice a lot for Jenny, a tremendous amount. But see, that gave him the chance for a whole new life. It's almost as if all those mistakes never happened, see?
And he's risking all of that by being back in Landry now.
Because David and Jenny were in danger, yes.
And he's going to Vienna. He's going to risk everything again. Well, there is just no end to this Mr. Brad Vernon, and his spirit of self-sacrifice is there.
That's exactly what it is.
You're in love with this man, and you're forgetting the fact that he knew every con game in town. He took advantage of every opportunity to make a quick buck. He lost the Vernon Inn, and he made a mess of Dream Faces. And he broke your heart without even giving it a second thought. We all want to believe in fairy tales and miracles, honey, but we were talking about Brad Vernon. I think it's time you wake up to reality.
Well? She's in there. The priest won't admit it, but I know she is.
So what? She's in there and we are out here. There is no way we can get to her.
But she doesn't remain in the church forever. You and your men keep watch around the clock.
Do you think she just walked out of that door right into our arms?
Certainly not. She's far too clever to make things easy for us. We know that she loves disguises, so keep a lookout for a young nun or a veiled worshiper, and if you do catch her, try not to let her escape the third time. Siberia is cold all the year. Do I make myself clear?
Okay, let's not make a mistake. You go over there, you two. We stay here and wait.
I don't know how to thank you, Father. You saved my life.
You mentioned someone else you were worried about.
Yes. I can't tell you his name, but he means more to me than...
You don't have to say anything. I assume it's political?
Yes. And that man that was here, he's also an enemy of the church. They all are.
I could tell. Therefore, they're not just your enemies, they are mine too.
Do you think they'll be back? Father?
They haven't really left. You are safe in here, but the church is being watched.
What did you tell them?
I said I had seen no beggar woman, which is true enough. But the man that came in here is very clever. I'm afraid he knows I've granted you sanctuary.
What's going to keep them from charging in here?
They are very well aware that there would be major repercussions.
See, I can't stay here because there's another person's life at stake.
Do you have friends on the outside that can help?
Not without endangering their lives, too. What am I going to do, Father? I'm trapped.
We really should have had some word by now. I'm so afraid something's happened to Jenny.
Honey, let's just stay calm, at least until Fritz gets back.
Oh, I know, but what help can he be?
He's Austrian, and he knows the city. He can travel around without arousing suspicion. Did you find Jenny?
I searched the neighborhood. No sign of her.
But maybe she left a message for us at the Sacher Hotel.
No, sweetheart. No, that'd be too dangerous. She knows that.
I am not thinking. I should have checked her own hotel.
You know where she stays?
The Franz Liszt. I recommended it myself.
Well, how long will it take for you to get there?
It is close by. I will leave immediately.
Please be careful.
Do not worry, Frau Buchanan. I only hope now to be of help.
Fred,
Where the hell have you been?
where's Jenny? Did you find her?
Yes.
You did?
But she was spotted trying to meet you at the museum.
Oh, my. Is she all right? Did they get her?
She's okay. She's okay. We did have a rather wild chase through the streets, but she managed to hide out in the church.
You were with her?
No, I followed from behind. I had a run-in with some of those creeps myself. They got a good look at me. That's why I shaved the beard.
Well, where's the church? We'll go to her.
No good. They know that she's been given sanctuary. They've got the place under surveillance.
How are we going to get her out?
That's a good question. We better think of something fast, because if David finds out she's escaped, he's not going to play ball, and they know it.
But if we don't get her to the theater in time...
We will. We've got to. It's our last chance. Look, Brad, we've been working on a plan. When David starts his defection speech, after the concert, we want to bring Jenny into the Borg Theater.
We're going to take her straight up on the stage, and then they can be reunited in front of the whole world.
That's a great idea.
They'll be free to tell the whole world the truth. I mean, the kidnapping, the murder threats, the phony defection, everything. Dirk and his boys want a big show. We'll give them a big show.
There is one little thing you're forgetting about.
What?
How are we going to get Jenny out of that church without getting her killed?
It's a mistake to go to Vienna. I know that you're worried about Brad, but what are you going to do for him over there?
I just have to know that he's all right.
Vicky and Clint are already over there, and Cassie's on her way over there. You're just going to be in the way.
I'm just so frustrated sitting here doing nothing.
Honey, I'm going through that every day, thinking about Bo. I can't call him. I have these visions that he's lost in the jungle somewhere, and he needs me, and I don't go running off to an airplane every 2 seconds. Bo and Brad are a lot alike. They're survivors. They can take care of themselves. They've been through a lot of scrapes, and they've come through together. That's what we've got to hang on to, all right?
All right, I'll try.
Okay, no more talk about Vienna and passports, okay? So, listen, I don't think we should tell Dorian about this. Let's just let her think that Cassie's away at a resort somewhere. I don't know what Dorian would do if she found out what was going on. And Cassie's messed things up enough as it is.
I hope Cassie's okay. She's usually pretty level-headed, though.
After she pulled this, I'm beginning to wonder.
Maybe the church has a connecting basement or something.
Well, if it does, I'm sure they've already got it covered.
Yeah. Well, outside of an airlift, what are we going to do? We're running out of time.
Excuse me, Mr. Van Dyke.
Hans, it's all right. These are the friends I was telling you about.
Mr. and Mrs. Buchanan.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
What is it?
I have an important message for you, Brad.
Maybe it's from Jenny.
Addressed to Bud Van Dyke. I don't believe this.
You going to share it with us?
Urgent. Have arrived in Vienna. Meet me immediately at the Upper Belvedere. Connie O'Neill.
What?
You heard right. All the stupid...
Forget it. Just forget it. Get over there and put her on a first jet plane home.
Yeah, sure, if she'll listen. She probably already bought tickets at David's concert. Damn it. I didn't need this.
Yes, sir?
I don't suppose you've any good news for me, have you?
Jenny and Ollie is still in the church. We are sure of that.
See that she stays there. The Meister is holding a press conference tomorrow morning, and if they try anything, it'll be within the next few hours.
I gave each man a photo of Jenny. They all know who we are looking for. She can't get possibly past us.
If she tries, just do whatever is necessary to stop her, and you understand, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Good. It was out for you yet. Get me Sasha, will you?
Okay, sir. Sasha, go in the car.
What did I tell
Did that fellow back home, did he ever...
Oh, no. He's a perfect gentleman. But then, there's a lot of ways people can abuse you.
You really must have loved him to let him hurt you like that.
I don't know, I was very attracted to him. Guess I could have learned to love him.
Even after the way he treated you.
Oh, who knows why we love the people we do, right? Besides, he has a very prestigious occupation.
What, you mean a job? Hey, I've got one of those.
And he comes from the right family. In fact, a family that I... Well, that I always wanted to be a part of. So I guess you could call him a real catch.
So's the rainbow trout. But I think I know what you mean. I can't say that I like it very much, but I think I can understand it.
I thought we decided we wanted to be honest.
Yeah, well, your honesty is knocking me back 2 steps for every 1 step that I take forward.
I don't get it.
You see, around these parts, I don't laugh at this, but I am considered to be quite a catch myself.
I know, I bet you are. I bet the girls here can hardly keep their hands off you.
Well, some of them show amazing restraint, let me tell you. But none of them seem to have your sophisticated way of keeping their distance.
I don't know. I think we're pretty close for a couple of strangers.
Well, I wish we didn't have to be. Strangers, that is. You know, it's not every day that I find myself holed up in some empty stable with a very beautiful young lady laying next to me.
It's kind of a new experience for me, too.
Tina.
Yes?
If things were different.
Yes?
Forget it. Hey, that old rainbow trout's got more of a chance with you than I do. Because when it comes to choosing men, you go by the book. And I just don't have all the right pages.
Oh, darling.
Cassie, where's Connie?
Right here, I'm Connie. And I've got the passport to prove it.
What's going on?
I had to come, Brad. I knew that Jenny and David would not willingly go behind the Iron Curtain. So I came to help. And I figured if I came as Cassie Callison, I might be followed, and then I wouldn't be much help to anybody, would I?
Good thinking. So Connie gave you your passport?
Well, I figured we look enough alike for me to get away with it.
That's taking a big risk.
Don't worry about that. You shaved your beard.
Yeah, I lost my cover when I tried to save Jenny from some dedicated foreign agents.
Where is Jenny? Is she all right?
For now, she's fine. Come on, Connie, let's take a walk. I'll tell you all about it.
Excuse me, Mrs. Lord, you have a visitor.
Oh? Jonathan Russell said he'd be in touch, but I didn't think he'd just come over.
No, ma'am, it's Mr. Craig Stone.
Really? What does he want? Oh, never mind. Emma, show him in. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Lord, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Quite well, thank you. And you?
A bit curious as to why you've stopped by.
I'm wondering about Cassie. As a matter of fact, I'm very concerned about it.
Concerned about Cassie?
Because we had a luncheon date, and she didn't call or show up.
Oh, you must have made those arrangements before she decided to leave town.
Leave? Where did she go?
Just on a little trip.
Out of the country?
No, on a drive up the coast.
You mean you don't know exactly where she's gone?
Because she didn't know exactly where she was going when she decided to take off.
And you haven't heard from her since she's left?
Pardon me, but this is beginning to sound like an interrogation.
It's my manner. I apologize. It's been pointed out to me before that I sound as though I'm conducting business even when I'm not.
You also have an urgent tone, which I don't understand.
Again, my apologies. I just got so alarmed when I couldn't find Cassie. This is a nasty world we live in, and terrible things can happen to lovely young ladies. But if you're certain she's fine...
I am not worried about Cassie. I'm glad she's having some fun. I mean, she's been so overwrought about her father's defection. I'm glad she's gone away.
All right. Well, in that case, so am I. But you don't think there's any chance... Well, never mind.
What is it?
Well, the last time I spoke to Cassie, she told me how desperately she wanted to go to Vienna. But she was also aware of how dangerous that would be at the time.
She's being sensible and staying put.
Fine. Well, then there's nothing to worry about. She's on holiday and... still...
Now what?
Again, forgive me, but her fear about her father and his wife was so intense that why wouldn't she call to inquire about them?
Hopefully, because she realized there wasn't a thing that she could do, and there was no point in worrying. And why are you trying to make me as paranoid as you are?
I'm sorry. I'm going to leave in a moment, and I won't bother you anymore. However, Cassie had me on the lookout for some antique jewelry, and I found a wonderful estate collection.
Since when has Cassie been interested in antique jewelry?
Oh, well, I had the impression that it was a future gift for a beautiful mother.
Oh, well then, give her all the assistance that you can.
Anyway, if she calls and leaves a number, would you tell her to call me, please?
I will do that.
Thank you.
Mrs. Lord, you have another visit.
It's me, Dorian.
Loved Vienna. I should have realized that he and Jenny would have come here to live.
Yeah, well, unless we can figure out a way to help your father, he's going to be living in a far less appealing place.
I've got to figure out a way to see David.
We can't see him. He's being held in seclusion. They have one of their people posing as Jenny for the press. David's playing along with them because he thinks that Jenny's behind the iron curtain somewhere.
Well, let's get a message to him.
It's too risky. Try and escape, and they'd either kill him or get him across the border before anyone realized he was gone.
What about Jenny?
Jenny has taken sanctuary in a church. The place is surrounded by foreign agents. Now we have to get past that gauntlet and take Jenny to David's press conference. That way we can expose the whole charade.
All they ever wanted to do was live in peace. Why can't they just leave him alone?
Yeah, well, the world doesn't work that way, Cassie. Your father is a public personality. He made one big mistake that's come back to haunt him.
That was years ago. David was an idealist. He believed in a cause, but once he realized he was wrong, he got out.
Yeah, until they threatened you and Jenny, and then he got back in again up to his neck.
You don't like my father very much, do you?
My personal feelings have nothing to do with what's going on.
Yes, it does. You think David should have gotten away somehow. That if it were you, you wouldn't be forced to be doing what David's being forced to do.
Cassie, lighten up. I'm one of the good guys, remember?
I'm sorry. I just get so sick and tired of people calling David a traitor. You should have heard the news in Landview about his defection.
Yeah. Well, when we get back, we'll straighten that out, all right?
I'll do anything I can to help.
Cassie, this is a very dangerous game we're playing here.
I outgrew games a long time ago. If my father's in trouble, then I'm here to help. I don't care what I have to do. You can count on me.
Hey, I remember when you were afraid of spiders and water bugs. You ready to take on foreign agents now?
I guess a divorce helps you grow up very fast.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. I guess there's not much we can do now but wait. Vicky's going to try and get in the church to see Jenny, and we'll know more then. Where are you staying?
The Ambassador Hotel.
Good. Look, don't try and contact us, all right? I'll call you later this evening, and we'll take it from there.
You still love her, don't you?
Yeah. I guess that's my fatal flaw, huh?
I don't think so.
Come on, let's get back to the city.
You will not face the world press unprepared.
I know that lousy speech by heart.
So you say, but I want to hear it.
Well, if you tell me why the Buchanans are in town, you just might.
They're in town for the press conference, of course, and they've asked for a special interview, which naturally we refused.
There's got to be more to it than that. Vicky is Jenny's closest friend. Jenny's involved somehow, isn't she?
For the last time, Jenny is safely across the border, and if you don't deliver your speech as ordered, you'll never see her again.
David, honey, we don't want to upset poor Dirk, do we?
Cut it out. You couldn't pass for Jenny if your life depended on it.
But your life does depend upon it. And hers. Really, David, please cooperate for our sake.
You listen. First of all, I cannot get up there and give a speech, much less give a concert, unless I follow my regular routine.
Don't play the temperamental artist with us.
I am an artist, you cretin. And I can't give my best without proper preparation.
What do you need, David?
All right. For one thing, I need exercise. About a half hour of stretching and aerobics, and then there's my run.
There's what?
Yes, 5 miles on a soft track, preferably. So if you'll excuse me.
If you think you can go running in the park when the Buchanans are here trying to reach you. Let me tell you something. I don't care a damn about your recital. You can play like Horowitz, you can play like Horrible,